pressure looks good.
Calling up. Roger, roll, Atlantic. Flight downside, speed off.
Yikes. You bet. Okay. We don't need any more of these.
All right, folks, let me know if you can hear me this morning. We are standing by for another NASA spaceflight live stream live from Boca Chica, Texas. We've got the remote video spooled up. Mary, Boca Chica gal, is out there making sure that we are getting another good video. But let me know that you can hear and see me. Hopefully you can hear and see me right now. I'm John Galloway, one of the hosts here at NASA Spaceflight, and we are going to see what it looks like out at Boca Chica this morning. Let's just go straight to there. Nobody needs to see me, but we've got Starship SN5 in another nice day. It's hot. Hopefully it doesn't get too windy. Some sort of dragonfly convention is happening here because there are all sorts of dragonflies in the shot today, but once again, we have observed that the road has been closed. We started to get a little bit of venting from the left-hand side of the tank farm really quickly. I'll show you that. Let me just bring that away. You can see lower left on the tank farm, there's a little bit of venting there. But that is our current status from Boca Chica. Still some cars on the pad, we believe, and watching for those cars to leave the scene, drive away. In fact, it looks like there is a car moving right now. That car may be actually going towards the beach. Which way is that car going? No, that car is actually leaving the pad, it looks like. In fact, we may have started the stream just at the right time. Look at all those cars starting to leave the pad. I mean, I'm telling you, we didn't actually know that that was going to happen. It happened to fortuitously go. But we are going to be bringing this scene to you live once again, hopefully getting that first hop of Starship SN5. Big tower on the right-hand side, just above the SpaceX RV. That's like some sort of SpaceX command RV or something like that they've put there, but that's fine if it's in the shot. And we are going to hope that we get a hop here. Again, we don't have any sort of specific T0 time. We don't know exactly when it's going to go. It's all sort of on the fly. SpaceX has this massive window today. 15 hours total in the notification that they sent out to the residents, the warning about the siren and stuff like that. They've got 15 hours to do the testing, but look at that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a caravan of cars leaving the pad right now. So we may have brought this stream live at just the right 6, 7. I'm going to say 8. You can see they're coming off the dirt road in the lower left, so you get a little bit of dust coming out. But anyways, that is our plan here to see what we can see for SpaceX testing out from Boca Chica, Texas. Let's go through the cast here today. Besides SN5, who's going to be on the middle, we've got a couple different of the SpaceX. We've got a couple different NASA spaceflight guests joining us today. I believe we've got here Jack Bayer. Are you on the stream with us today? Let's hop this thing. I want to see it. I want to go to the hop today, Jack. Yeah, Jack is a photographer, live stream host for NASA Spaceflight. His information in the upper right-hand corner there, at Jack Bayer. If you can click on, I guess you can't click on that, but that's where you can find him on Twitter. We've also got Chris Gebhardt dialing in from Florida. Chris, how are you doing? How's that rain? I know that you were getting hit by some rain there earlier. Has the rain sort of passed, or?
Standing by to hit that mute button at a moment's notice on my end, yes.
Yeah, all right. So there's Chris. We brought Chris's audio up there as well. And Jack was in there as well. Jack, say hi again for us.
Check. This is my voice. 1, 2, 1, 2.
There we go. All right, good deal. So we've got that online too. Let's see. Who else do we have? Michael, how are you doing today?
I am doing well, and hopefully we will not have to wait around for too long. It's looking good so far.
Yeah, that is always the situation out here. Mary is actually on a rooftop in the South Texas sun. The temperatures out there are going to get blistering. They're not great right now, but it's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. She's running 3 different cameras. One of those cameras is the live stream camera. So it kills me. The only real way that we've got to bring all this coverage is for Mary to be up there on that roof. And it's hot. So I want everybody in chat right now to go through and say thank you so much for Boca Chica gal out there making sure that we have these live views to share with y'all. But as always, we could sit here and talk till we were blue in the face and we wouldn't have anything to show unless Mary got out there. So dealing with a couple technical difficulties this morning, a couple frustrations. I cannot say thank you to Mary enough to for being out there bringing us this audio. Look at that. There's even more cars leaving the pad. We're over 10. What do y'all think that was? 10, 12, 13 cars that have left the pad?
Just
No, I
looks
should have been
like,
counting.
Yeah.
looks like the last couple ones because you could see the reflection of them from the sun when they were parked. And I'm not seeing any more cars to the far left.
Absolutely. So that's a very good sign. Again, SpaceX does not give us specific timings. They don't say, oh, at this time we're going to be doing this. There's no official press release or announcement or anything like that. So we have to engage in roadside rocket science. We have to sort of watch the facility and watch for different signs. We know that the pad needs to be clear. So there shouldn't be any people around the pad. There shouldn't be any of the people's cars around the pad, because if you can see the cars, you know that there may be people there sometimes. So those cars leaving the pad is a big sign for us that they're starting to clear out all the personnel that have been working around SN5, hopefully resolving that issue with the valve that didn't open yesterday. Yesterday's abort occurred, according to Elon, because a valve failed to open, so they probably did some work on that, making sure that wasn't going to be an issue today. But everybody leaving the pad is right there in our checklist. We need that pad to be clear so that they can start spooling up that tank farm, start loading that prop, and hopefully march towards a 10-minute siren sooner rather than later, so that Mary doesn't have to be out there in the South Texas sun all day long running these cameras. So again, thank you so much for joining us. That's Starship SN5, and we're hoping that we get a hop. What else did I miss there, y'all? I mean, should we talk about what happened yesterday in a little bit more detail?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that you said SpaceX doesn't tell us, when the tests are supposed to be, or they just kind of give a window on those sheets that they distribute to the residents. But yesterday, we did kind of get told when things were going to happen, thanks to an Elon tweet.
Yeah.
We got a T0, which was pretty nifty, and we were able to basically observe part of the engine startup process before it aborted.
I think I can roll that video, Jack, if you want. Let me see here.
Let's go to the tape, Doc.
Let's roll the tape, right? Hang on, just
roll
215.
215. Isn't that what Jon Stewart always said on the Daily Show? He'd be like, roll 215, and then they'd roll whatever like incredibly incriminating clip to underscore whatever he was just talking about. But yeah, so I think that's basically, I think that covers yesterday. Is they tanked the vehicle. It was all ready to go. They got all the way up to engine startup. The engine tried to start. Valve didn't open. Engine didn't like what it saw, and it shut itself down there. Oh, yeah, I forgot. This is the raw video from Mary that Brady edited together yesterday. Thanks again to Brady for doing that, and super extra double, quadruple, triple thanks to Mary for shooting it.
Yeah.
But for real, that's a nice shot.
Yeah, it is. That's that picture you see in there. That's from yesterday.
Yeah. So you can see the bottom, that bottom portion, and then it looks like the Raptor engine just kind of barfs out some condensation there. That is basically part of the engine startup process that we're talking about. And we know that a sticky valve triggered the abort yesterday, again, thanks to an Elon tweet. You gotta love when we get little bits of information like that. So many companies in this type of situation would be secretive, would not even be doing this sort of thing out in the open. But not only is SpaceX doing it out in the open, but we get essentially very, very timely updates from time to time from Elon on Twitter, which is always a treat. And, so much of this is reading tea leaves. It's nice to have some data points to then, further base our conjecture off of, because we have to use what we do know to come up with explanations for the things that we're seeing. And wow, that really is a dragonfly convention out there. How cool is that?
There's so many dragons out. Dragons. There's so many dragons. Dragonflies out there.
Wrong SpaceX project. Wrong SpaceX project.
It's like the wrong coast. Actually, it's the same coast, because the dragon splashed down on the Gulf Coast. So same coast, just 1,000 miles in a direction there. So. All right. So again, y'all, we're live here. We are actually going to be reading some chat, taking some questions. If there's things like super chat and things like that, we will be reading some of those, but we're just getting started here. Hopefully SpaceX marches towards, that was a really good sign that all those vehicles were leaving the pad. Hopefully they march towards that tank farm activity spooling up, and we start to see some propellant loading. And I hope sooner rather than later we hear that siren go off, indicating that it's 10 minutes before the hop attempt occurs. But that's what we're standing by here, live from Boca Chica, Texas.
Yeah, so with assuming everything's on a normal timeline that we've sort of established ourselves, and Jack, I know you've really watched all this stuff. So pad clear, if everything's on a normal schedule, about how close might we be at the earliest?
Michael, do we have any indication? Like, do we think, okay, they've cleared the pad, and that's usually 90 minutes beforehand? It's usually 30 minutes beforehand. Do we have enough
Maybe
information to make a guess?
about an hour, but it can be more. It seems to be as a minimum an hour. It could be more depending on how long it takes for them to make sure all the systems are ready to go and whatnot, and potentially work any issues if they have any. But in the best case scenario, I think the fastest we've seen is about an hour from pad clear to when they actually perform a either a static fire or in this case a hop.
Yeah, gotcha.
Gotcha. So that would be roughly like 11:45 is what we'd be looking at then, about an hour after pad clear is earliest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
roughly. And again, y'all, so everybody's clear. We don't know any specific times. We sort of see what happens when we see all the vehicles clearing out from the pad. We sort of guess, well, they're probably not going to launch in 5 minutes because the vehicles have just driven away. We're missing some steps in there. So we are guessing. I can't make that clear enough. I know a lot of people come over there and they're like, oh, why don't you have times on the screen? Oh, why don't you say what the expected T0 is? We can't put that on the screen. We don't know exactly what that T0 is supposed to be. So instead of just making a bunch of guesses and saying, wow, maybe it's this, please stick around, look, it's going to launch in 30 minutes, please stick around, we're going to be honest with you and tell you what it is we know and why we think we know it. So maybe at least about an hour before we would see those operations proceed, but hopefully we're still getting that venting from the grass area on the tank farm, lower right hand corner a little bit. Hopefully that's a good indication.
Thinking about what we saw yesterday, and correct me if I'm misremembering. I'm operating on very little sleep here. So yesterday, I believe the attempt was around 5:50 something local, and the window ended at 8 local. So that's about 2 hours between the T0. And there's the grass vent Das is pointing out with his. He just couldn't resist drawing for a few moments.
I couldn't.
That's why we love you. What was I going to say? Sleep is good. No, you're fine. So yesterday there was 2 hours roughly between the T0 that we got from Elon on Twitter and the end of the window. So if you extrapolate, like we're talking about, maybe an hour after road close would be the earliest. It would make sense that would make sense given that they tried to hop with 2 hours left in the window yesterday, because 2 hours is about as much time as you would need to safe the vehicle and make everything happy, I guess, for lack of a better term. If it takes you an hour to attempt and then an hour to detank and get everything safe and open the road again, I don't know. I'm just trying to extrapolate based on what we saw yesterday. And then I think around, what was it? I should go back and look and see when the tank farm activity picked up versus when T0 was, but I think it was something like 45 minutes or something in there. So
that matches what I remember yesterday, Jack. Yeah, 45.
So keep your eyes open for activity from the tank farm there. I know we did see a little bit of grass venting. However, we're really looking for like clouds of condensation around the tank farm, like heavy tank farm activity, not just a vent here or there. But that's what we're looking for next. And hopefully once we see that, a hop will be imminent.
Yeah, the first major sign the countdown is underway is that the methane recondenser will start venting, and that's located just behind those 3 vertical water tanks you can see to the bottom left of SN5. So look around there. When we start seeing a lot of condensation coming out, that'll be a good sign. Yeah, right where DOS is marked. That's correct.
I set it up so I could do that pretty quickly today and bring that on and off the screen. So again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. I got to get this one real quick. Mr. Morgan Kell posted up in chat. Welcome to Texas Tank Watchers Live. Today's show is going to be a blast. More tanks, more watching, more roadside rocket science, and hopefully explosive highlights. Thank you, Morgan Kell. A true Texas Tank Watchers fan there.
Nice.
Do we know, when we talk about the grass vent, do we know what is venting over there? Do we think it's nitrogen? Do we think it's oxygen? Is it just condensation? What do we think that is? Any guesses?
I wish I knew.
Yeah, I don't know what that vent would be. So
Gotta be liquid oxygen. It's gotta be either oxygen or nitrogen. We know it can't
yeah,
be methane.
it
So
wouldn't be
one
methane
of
over
two.
there. That's great.
It's most likely oxygen because they have to chill down the
Yeah.
transfer lines and everything. So it's likely chill down is what we're seeing.
Gotcha.
Makes sense.
Yeah, one thing that actually the launch pads, specifically at Kennedy and the Cape, don't do a really great job of showing you because of how spread out everything normally is when chill down happens, you do get a lot of gaseous oxygen condensation building up there as all of the propellant transfer lines are being conditioned thermally because you don't want to shock them. You don't want to take them from ambient 90-degree temperatures down to negative 200 whatever degrees Fahrenheit, liquid oxygen is at. So likely that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. I've got a question real quick that I saw come through chat. There's some like stick structures over here. What are those stick structures right there? Sort of down in the lower right, just above the RV. That's one of the old stand, new stand. Jack, you would know because you label this thing all the time.
Yeah, I don't think it's old. I have previously labeled it, although not in a while, old/new launch mount. And I think based on feedback from people in the comments, people on the NASA Spaceflight Forum, and just talking amongst ourselves, that's got to be a new one based on how how trashed and scorched the old one was.
Yeah.
So that appears to be basically, you can see to the left of that Starship SN5 is on a launch mount, and that is essentially the same type of structure. It's upside down right now. So the parts that we're seeing, little twiggy bits, that's a technical term, trademark. The twiggy bits that we're seeing sticking up are essentially the feet. And whenever that is ready to be used for whatever they will use it for, they will flip it over, install it to where, yeah, equals. There you go.
You like that?
Yeah, I love it. And then, yeah, so that's another launch mount. And my guess, and this is totally a guess, but it would make sense to me. My guess is that will be installed over by the new super heavy foundation, which is taking shape a couple hundred yards to the right of SN5 and away from the camera view. Sort of, if you think about the launch site, I don't know if you've seen RGV aerials, really great aerial photography work. But those sort of give you a good idea of the lay of the land. And if you're thinking about the launch site, SN5 is where it is, and then sort of away from it, from our perspective right now, is the launch site, or the landing site, sorry. And then away from the landing site, again, closer towards the beach, away from our perspective, is the super heavy launch area, and then it's beach. So basically, there would be a nice amount of separation between the Starship launch mount and the super heavy launch mount. And maybe the Starship launch mount at that point would be turned into some sort of a test stand since it's so close to the tank farm, or maybe it would be used for, who knows? Maybe they would just have dual stand operations at that point and be able to do multiple things at once, which would be really crazy to see. But yeah, that thing is a launch mount. It might be just a test stand. It might be something they mount like a test tank on. It might be something they mount super heavy on, and actually is used as part of another pad that they're building out in the process of right now. Yeah, that's what that is. It's one of the many pieces that we see on site regularly that's almost kind of become part of the landscape now. But at some point, they're going to do something cool with it. So it's just a matter of time, and we have to keep our eyes on it. And we know Mary will, because that's just in her nature. Anytime they start to poke around with that thing again, we'll be on top of it, because it's kind of like how they do there. They will spend a week or two or a period of time really cranking out a lot of progress on a specific thing, and then it'll just kind of sit for a little while, and then they'll come back to it, and then when they're ready, start cranking out progress again on it. So I'm excited to see how the launch site progresses. I mean, even just the tank farm, they're going to need a lot more tank capacity to fill an entire Starship / super heavy vehicle. So just a lot of changes coming to the launch site, and we will see how it evolves over time. I'm going to run through some super chats here.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you, everybody, for the support. It is humbling. It really is. And we're constantly. I mean, I know I am. I know you guys are too. Constantly trying to come up with new ways to express our appreciation in a meaningful way, in an authentic way, because it really is meaningful that you guys are throwing your $5, your $10. Every little bit helps, and it's not even a little bit. Those are huge amounts. $5 is nothing to shake a stick at, and neither is $10. So, thank you everybody. Thomas Huisler.
That's
I'm
good.
sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying. $5. Thank you for the $5 super chat. So they ask, people ask this. It's okay to ask this, even if it gets asked repeatedly ad nauseum. How long until the hop? We don't know.
We don't know.
We're hoping under an hour, maybe 2 hours, under 2 hours. We're really just guessing at this point, based on the things that we've seen in the past. Hopefully in the next two or so hours, barring some kind of abort or recycle or scrub. Nick Duggar, thank you for the $5. They say, thanks, Mary. You're a blessing to us nerds. I'm just going to read that again because I agree with it so thoroughly. Thank you, Mary. You're a blessing to us nerds. And thank you for the $5, Nick. I definitely think we all agree with your sentiment there. Let's see. Rough Rider Show, thank you for the $5.99 or $4.99. Take two, they say, when can Mary be on comms again? We miss hearing her. Yep. It's a real pain that we can't get her on comms today. We've been trying to troubleshoot that over and over and over again, and we've got some new equipment and some more new equipment, and we're sending out some even more new equipment now to try and rectify the situation. A new booster so that she can have cell signal. This morning was tricky because we were trying to get that working, and she was having to hold the phone up to her head and talk to us and operate camera gear and all of that stuff. So it's tough that we don't have comms with Mary, and it's absolutely something that we're troubleshooting. So give us a little bit of time. I know we've been trying to knock that out, but we're trying. We really are trying, and hopefully we'll have that solved here soon. Let's see, Rodarg, thank you for the €2. They say, how many hours is time frame any ETA and launch? We don't know. 2 hours, maybe 3, maybe less, maybe more.
Same thing.
There might be a recycle. We just don't know. We're here. That's why we call it Texas Tank Watchers.
We're just watching the tanks.
Yep. Let's see. Noon says Jack is still all jacked up. Texas Tank Watcher crew is here. Yeah, I'm tired. I don't know if you can tell. I'm trying to be hyped up. I am hyped up, but I was up until 4 a.m. trying to shoot a nuclear missile launch. And stupid fog. Stupid.
You better explain that, Jack.
Let's explain that a little better, Jack.
No big deal.
That's what
Just
it
up
was,
late,
right?
shooting a nuclear missile launch, whatever.
Yeah.
You better explain that.
Well, it didn't have a nuke on board.
No, but it was a nuclear missile. It's an intercontinental ballistic missile launch.
Capable.
We launch around 4 ICBMs a year from the Vandenberg Air Force Base launch site into the Pacific Ocean, specifically at Kwajalein Atoll. Sorry, Kwajalein, we love you. But
why we send you so many
launch
nuclear missiles?
We launch about 4 a year, and almost like clockwork. Every couple of months, they'll announce about a day beforehand that they're gonna do a test launch. And like you said, Chris, it's an unarmed missile. But so that's why I'm a little bit tired here. Sorry for that.
It's all good, Jack. We got your back. Just
Angry
I had to
Astronaut.
laugh.
Yeah, it's things we do for rockets, right? Angry Astronaut, thanks for the $5. They say thank you, Boca Chica gal. Stay angry about space. Are we angry about space? Who's angry? Oh, because it's Angry Astronaut. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Collier, thank you for the $5. They say, what's the relationship between NASA Spaceflight, Lab Padre, and Boca Chica gal? Are you guys all the same group of people? Thanks for the live stream. Nope, different people, different groups of people. NASA Spaceflight and Boca Chica gal. Boca Chica gal is Mary, of course. She's who's out there, who lives in Boca Chica. She's a resident in Boca Chica. It's basically her backyard. I mean, it isn't even basically. It is her backyard, and she can wake up, go out of her front door, and see cranes, and go, "Oh, what's going on with that crane?" and go shoot something being lifted up. And that's why we have the crazy, unprecedented, unparalleled views that we do. And Lab Padre, I think everybody knows, is another I think he's a South Padre Island local. He lives nearby, and they have that camera there. So yeah, different people, different live streams. We're really happy that there's so many different live streams and so many people that are excited about Starship. I mean, it's so nice to live in a period of time when everyone is excited about space. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the space shuttle, the flying brickyard that was the space shuttle. I got to be careful here, but yeah, a lot of people were not excited about it for a long time. It almost became forgettable to a large portion of the population. At least it seemed that way. So it's heartening to see people care about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, if you're just joining us, we're standing by. Jack running through some super chats there. We are standing by for a test. We believe that the pad is clear now, so you can see the indicator, sort of our progress bar in the upper left-hand corner. Saw a bunch of vehicles leaving the pad there, which is a good sign. We don't have people around the pad, and we're waiting to see what we call tank farm activity. It's not just venting, like one little vent here, one little vent there. That happens normally as the temperatures change in those tanks. We want to see this tank farm really come to life. So when we start to see the condensers vent, when we start to see vapors form, basically all across the tank farm, that is what we are standing by for. We do not have a time on that. We just know that the pad looks like it got cleared, and the next step in the process would be that. But there's no T0. We don't know exactly when it's going to happen, all that sort of thing. We are just doing our Texas tank watching here as we sort of bring these on. Jack, keep running some super chats there.
Okay, let's see. We did Rodarg. We did Angry Astronaut. Just trying to get through the queue here. Oh, BPS Space, Joe Barnard. Thanks,
Hey.
man. If you're not subscribed to BPS Space, go just stop everything right now and go subscribe to BPS Space, and then come back. Joe says, Jack, quote, "I'm gonna just shoot this nuclear missile real quick. Thanks as always for the live coverage." Well, you know, when a rocket launches from the West Coast, it's become a rare affair, so we have to take advantage of it, even if it's a horrible kill missile. Let's see. I need more space. Thank you for the $14.99. They say, I hope the tank farm yield is bountiful today. And then Durai Carthinian, I'm sorry, man. They say
Jack, the trick, Jack, sometimes is just say the part of their name that you know how to pronounce and just act like it's all good. It's a good
challenge for myself. And then I'm down on myself in like a self-deprecating sort of way. But like, yeah, I don't know.
Don't do that. Yeah,
it's like a fun challenge, and I want to show respect to somebody by at least attempting to say the name. But yeah, sometimes you just have to be like, Durai, thank you.
Yeah,
but thank you for the tip, Das. I appreciate it.
I do that all the time where I'm like, Bob, thanks, Bob. Moving right along.
Exactly. It works. They said the fun and informative chat you guys have makes the long watch worth it. It's often why I watch the stream instead of just the highlights. Well, thank you. That's awesome. I usually wonder, like, after we're done streaming, when it's just sitting on the channel and it's like a 5-hour long stream, I'm like, does anyone really want to watch this? But I'm glad that people do. That's really cool. And
apparently
then
they do.
Mark Brune, thank you for the $3. They say, how will NSF content be affected by the new wall? So if you guys didn't catch it in one of the daily update videos, there's a new wall being constructed by the launch site. I don't know if they're going to do it around the entire launch site or if they're just doing it for that one portion right there where they're doing it. Over the last week or two, we have seen them take that part of the fence down and then pour a foundation and then put that new wall up. But the fence around the rest of the pad and the launch site, they haven't done that with. The fence is still up. So I'm not sure why they would only want that portion of the fence right there. Maybe it's a tank farm, some sort of consideration for the tank farm, some sort of safety thing or like buffer. But I don't know. Hopefully we don't see that sort of wall or fencing go up around the entire launch pad, because that would cut off a lot of our views.
Yeah, Jack, I'm wondering though if part of that, because like you said, like protection, like blast protection or stuff for the tank farm, that's a pretty common thing. But I'm wondering if also because they're doing this out in the open near public access roads, if
that's what I'm thinking, like just
something to start protecting ITAR stuff that might be coming as more things are built and as the site develops.
Yeah, that methane recondenser, I mean, alone is immediately what comes to my mind. If that is proprietary technology that they want to protect the any data surrounding, then that could absolutely be a reason for that wall. And just really quickly, I would like to underscore in life and in Boca Chica, you should never take for granted what you have when you have it. And right now we have crazy, stellar, unprecedented views of the launch site, of the build site. They do everything out in the open, or seemingly everything out in the open. I mean, obviously we don't see all the stuff that goes on in the tents, which is a lot. But point being, the views that we have now could change. So enjoy them while we have them. And as they change, we will adapt and we will figure out how to continue to bring awesome coverage. And rest assured, we will bring you awesome coverage. And the good thing about these vehicles and this launch site is no matter how big a wall they put up, I mean, maybe we'll lose some shots of a forklift guy going by or a telehandler going by with some piece of equipment hanging from it. But these vehicles, you can't put them behind a wall. They're hundreds of feet high. So we will always be able to see the vehicles at the pad and see them launching and shooting through the air in spectacular fashion. So do not worry. It should be fine. And then let's see.
And you know, this just kind of goes to this thing, Jack, which is what fascinates me about this location is, I mean, for the first time since the 50s, we are living through the creation of a new spaceport and a new space center here in the United States in like a very big way, right? I know Kodiak and Wallops and you know and Bendy and everything exist, but this is the first time we're actually really getting to see and document how a spaceport and a space center is built. And that's really cool to see how it changes over time.
Yep. And you know, it reminds me a lot of, I'm sure, how it must have been for Kennedy when Kennedy Space Center and Cape Canaveral were getting spooled up. I mean, there was people living in the area there the same way that there's people living in the area here. So
yep.
You can actually still see some of the old homestead foundations and everything on Merritt Island.
So you know, that's progress for you, and that's the winds of change. So it's only a matter of time before we see similar stuff. I personally, I mean, if you ask me to that here, I mean, maybe it's 5 years from now, maybe it's never, depending on how their plans shape up, and you know, maybe they go all in on Kennedy and this becomes a test site. Who knows what the future holds? But yeah, that wall is a good reminder that everything is transient, and enjoy what you have while you have it, because nothing lasts. Oh, the joy of human timescales. Anyways, A-Sticks asks, $4.99. They give us a $4.99 super chat. Thank you. They say, sorry about the fog, but were you really shocked? We have fog 90% of the time for launches. Yeah, well, one, it's not the fall. It's not like the October, autumn, fall time frame. So I thought maybe I'd get lucky there. And two, I checked Clear Dark Sky and it said it was going to be clear. Although now I will no longer ever trust Clear Dark Sky. And, you know, I can go for an up close, like couple mile away view of the launch pad / silo, whatever you want to call it, and risk being clouded out. Or I can go far away and absolutely get a streak no matter what, but then I'm far away. I'm not going to be able to hear it. I'm not going to be able to get up close video. And I've been dying to get a shot of the silo cap opening and the massive column of fire that is ejected before the ICBM comes out of the silo. So that is why I went to the location that I did and risked the fog. And you know what? No risk, no reward. So that's why I did that. Thomas, thank you for the €10. They say, here's some coffee for you. Oh man, I really need to get my French press fired up. And then Retino Tosoni says, thank you so much for your passionate broadcast. Regards from Switzerland. Epi says, oh, €20. Wow, Epi, thank you. Faith, Hop, and Charity. And the greatest of these is Hop. That's excellent. Thank you so much for the support. And then SpaceX, Science Times, thanks for the 100 rupees. I think those are Kieran Quinn. They say, thanks for the feed, guys. Not sure why Crispy blocked me on Twitter. Love following you guys. You know, sometimes people get blocked on Twitter accidentally. Sometimes it's for, you know, various reasons. Sometimes a Twitter thread can just get out of control. So things happen. Let's see. Mark Brune.
Familiar, so I'll at least go check.
There you go. Mark Brune, thank you for the $2.99. They say Jeff Bezos has entered the chat. Sean R, thank you for the $1.99 curly L's. And Zyzep. I'm going to go with Zyzep. Thank you for becoming a new member. Josh, I'm trying to run through these. Josh French, thank you for the 2 curly L's. Why is SpaceX not doing a webcast for the hop? Good question. I fully expected them to spool up a webcast yesterday, but they didn't. Go figure. You know, maybe we'll get some content after the fact. Who knows? But definitely something, you know, a deviation from what they did with Starhopper, at least. And then Samir Sheikh, they say, why are there no nose cones fitted for these? I think that's because they don't need the aerodynamic surface, and because a nose cone is a fairly complicated, time-consuming part for them to make. so they don't want to just waste the nose cone on a vehicle that doesn't need one. And I say that, and as I'm saying that, I'm thinking to myself, but they have, at this point, that was a logical argument when they had one nose cone. But now they have like hundreds and hundreds and thousands of nose cones. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but they have like 5 nose cones sitting outside. Seemingly would be easy to just throw one on there, but then, we're at a point where they'd have to get it down to the launch site somehow. They'd have to get it on a crane. It just would take time that's not necessary. So no nose cone on this one because it's only going up 150 meters. The aerodynamic stresses and forces on the vehicle will be not enough to require it, but I bet that this is the last one of these that we see without a nose cone, provided that this is the last 150 meter hop. Who knows? We could see many more 150 meter hops. I know the prevailing wisdom is that immediately after this we'll go to a higher hop and then a higher hop and then a higher hop. But I'm starting to wonder if maybe we'll see multiple 150 meter hops with multiple different vehicles. I mean, what is SN6 going to be used for? That could be used for nothing. It could do a 150 meter hop just the same as SN5. Who knows? We don't, and that is part of what's exciting about all of this. Armando Mata, thank you for the €5. They say a cold beverage for Mary. That would be appreciated, and thank you so much. Ed Duncan, thank you for the $5. They say got a dentist appointment in an hour. Hope it hops before then. Keep up the amazing work. Well, you know what? If you have a cool dentist, just have them set your phone like in a little tool tray. That's not gross, right? Have them set your phone in a little tool tray right there, next to the is it a chair? The dentist chair? Is there a special word for a dentist chair? I'm gonna call it a sitter. No, that's nothing. That's not a satisfying word. You know what? Just have them play it. Let them. If you have a cool dentist, they should let you just keep the video playing. Don't stress. I'm sure you have plenty of time. We're not even seeing activity from the methane condenser right now, so you might not even have to do that. But if anybody in chat has a cool idea for a name for a dentist chair, throw it in there because I failed miserably. Let's see. Anton, thank you for the best wishes from Russia. Along Lee, thank you for the 200 rupees. They say, imagine during hop SN5 flips and does the ultimate bottle stand challenge. That would be a sight. That would be a sight. A Bester, thank you for the €20. They say, thanks for the live coverage. Do you think the current tank farm is enough for operating super heavy? No, absolutely not. I think the tank farm is something that we will see grow and change over time. So that is absolutely something we will see, and we should keep our eyes open for. We already know that there's 3 very large tanks on site, so we're not sure where they are going to show up, but my guess is the tank farm. The other option is, if you guys have seen in the daily update videos, they are building, or they're doing something. I shouldn't say building because we don't know what they're doing. They're doing something at the lot just before the production site. So if you're driving towards the beach, the very first thing you get to that SpaceX owns that I'm aware of is this lot that we refer to as the old gas well site. And I refer to it that because that's what Mary calls it, and Mary lives there and Mary knows what's up. So the old gas well site is literally a lot adjacent to the build site that has a old decommissioned gas well on it. And we have seen various pieces of equipment brought out to that site, and it's like a particulate separator, a blowdown drum, things that I'm not too up to speed on what they are, but essentially oil extracting and gas extraction equipment have been brought to that site. So maybe they're even testing the output of that well to see if they can perhaps use any of the output of that well, or maybe they're just testing it before they cap it off for good. Who knows? But those 3 tanks could end up over there by the old gas well site for some sort of activity they're doing there, maybe a new pilot methane harvesting program or something, or those tanks could just be being stored over there and they could be brought over to the tank farm and installed. And that is my very long-winded answer to your very good question. And thanks again for the €20. That's super awesome of you. It is no small amount of money. Jared Bass, thanks for the $10, and also not a small amount of money. We say, hope y'all are having a good day. Let's hope for a successful hop. You know what? That's a good sentiment. I hope everybody watching right now, I hope all 12, holy cow, 12,000 of you? I hope all 12,000 of you right now are as hyped as we are for the hop, and I hope you're all having a great day, because great days are great to have, right? And then, you guys just keep coming in, you keep throwing in the super chats. I keep thinking I'm done. This is a great problem to have. Thank you, everybody. Throw some questions in chat at NASA Spaceflight. We're almost done with these, and we can answer some of your good questions there. Sly Fox, thanks for the $5. They say sending $5 your way and donating $5 to the UT-RGV Stargate program, which is a University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, I believe, science program. So thank you for doing that. That is awesome of you. I'm really, really stoked about that. Find local charities that you support their mission and support them. That's awesome of you. Thank you. And then Arash, thank you for the $5. They say, I guess you missed my last super chat. It's all good, brothers. Much love. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm sorry if I missed your last one. I try to catch all of these. That's my bad if I missed something. But thank you for the support, dude. We really, really appreciate it. And as you know, as you've probably all heard me say, 1080p, 60 frames a second, pushing that data up to the cloud ain't cheap. So that's why we like to take time and acknowledge everybody's help, everybody's support. It's seriously meaningful, because without it, we would not be able to do this. So if you like this, then you have seriously done your part in supporting it. And not only that, you have done your part in helping bring it to everybody around the world. Everybody that wakes up every morning and watches this with their breakfast, or everybody that gets a little bit of enjoyment on a day that might be having that's otherwise not great, for whatever reason, you're helping bring that to everybody. And that's pretty darn cool. So, and then I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm sorry, but thank you for the super chat, the 100 currency units. And then Candlelight, thank you for the £9, 10 pounds, whatever. Thank you for your great work. Love and appreciation from the UK. Well, thank you. Love and appreciation for your support. Let's see. And then we'll get into some questions here. Let's answer some question from chat. Hey, chat.
Jack, those are curly L's.
Curly L, my bad.
Yeah.
You know, I say, some of the times I say curly L, and every now and then I'll like glance over at chat and I'll see someone in chat saying like, that's not a curly L, that's a pound. And they're probably joking, but you know, it's the kind of thing that makes you hesitate to say it multiple times in a row.
And I'm gonna guess here on Sean Han, or Sean Han is the translation of those characters that we got. If I got that correct, nice. And Google Translate is to be trusted, Sean, we appreciate the support.
Nice. I appreciate your dedication and figuring out how perhaps to potentially pronounce that. Holy freaking cow, Nathan Taylor. Nathan Taylor with a $50 super chat. Nathan, you are a mad person. They say, thank you to all of you for your important work documenting history. Special shout out to Mary. Yeah, Mary's the one documenting history here. We're just the goofballs talking over the stream, trying to provide context to what everybody is seeing. And hopefully we can get Mary to be one of these goofballs too. She has in the past, and we'll get her on good comms here hopefully soon, and we can all just be goofballs together, because who doesn't enjoy our random blathering? Let's see.
Who doesn't enjoy our random blathering?
I mean, it's mostly my random blathering, but you know what? I'll put that on all of us. And Zyzep says, Jack, can I get just 10% of your energy? I've been drained all day, but I'm so ready for this hop. You know, dude, I wish I had this motivation for literally anything in my life other than rockets, or planes, or like cool desert stuff. I guess there's multiple things I'm this motivated for, but it's not everything. And it's certainly not something I can turn off and on. I have to care. So it's tough to be drained all day, but you know, when we have something like this that's so exciting and so pivotal to humanity's future, it's easy to go the extra mile. But yeah, hopefully you can hang in there and we get this thing hopped today and you don't have to wait too long.
Yeah, again, y'all, as a quick status update here, that Starship SN5 out there, that is a prototype tank and engine assembly. It's got the mass simulator up on top. Normally, this would have a nose cone sticking up off the top of it, but it does not right now. But this is Starship prototype SN5, and we are standing by to hopefully see this thing fly for the first time. We know SpaceX has done tanking tests where they'll pressurize the tank, where they'll actually put cryogenic liquids into it, fuel and oxygen, and we know that they've done a static fire as well. So a static fire where they actually light the Raptor engine. The Raptor produces thrust. We get a big cloud of dust underneath it. They've done all those things, and all this has been part of this test campaign marching towards the ability for this thing to actually fly. we keep saying hop. We keep saying we want to see it hop. We mean that this thing is going to take off from its launch mount. It's going to disconnect from the little sticky bits underneath of the sticks, and it's going to fly up in the air. Theoretically, SpaceX is going for 150 meters, so it should go up to about the top of the screen. SN5 itself is about 30 meters tall, so think its height right now times 5. It'll go up to about the top of the screen, fly away from the camera a little bit, and then come back down sort of like a hover and land at a land at a landing pad that's what do we think that is? Do we think that's like 50 meters away, 20 meters away, 100 meters away? How far is it between the landing pad and the launch mount? Anybody have a guess there?
I think it's maybe like 100 to 150 meters, something like that. That's an approximation.
I'll get you an
Okay.
exact number. Stand by.
Gotcha. Jack's going to Google map it or something, it looks like. But that's what we're waiting. We see all these, there's tons of dragonflies flying in front of the frame. We also see some birds on occasion, et cetera, et cetera. But this is live from Boca Chica, Texas, standing by waiting for this test. Again, we've got the sort of status in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. It says that we're currently at pad clear. We're waiting for what we call tank farm activity. We really want to see a lot of vapors coming off this tank farm, not just one little vent here, there, whatever. We want to see this tank farm really come to life, and that will be an indication that they have begun fueling, but we don't see that yet. So we don't have any sort of exact T0. We can't tell you, well, at exactly this time it's going to happen. This isn't a space launch. Like, you're sending supplies up to the ISS, and you have to launch in a very specific window. So the ISS is a very specific location, so you can go and rendezvous and dock with the ISS. That's not what this is. This is a test window. In today's test window is 15 hours long. It's a 15-hour test window extending up until midnight local time, and it's currently 10:27 a.m., so more than 12 hours. But that is our status here as we watch the live stream from Boca Chica. So we're just hanging out, answering some questions, reading some super chat. We're able to pay for gear and stuff like that. Data is ridiculous for the live streams that we do, but we're able to afford all that because of y'all's support. So I saw a couple people like, oh gosh, all they do is read super chats. Well, we're hanging out right now. Once we get into like T-30, the tank farm goes active, we start to see venting. Our tune is going to change, and we'll start focusing on exactly what the vehicle's doing. But right now, I feel like somebody needs to go poke it with a stick and tell it to do something. Whew. And I think we've got, I mean, the super chats just keep on coming in. I know that people are also watching over on Twitch as well, so I'm getting some questions over there. And we answered a few of those about the 150 meters and what are the birds going to do, et cetera, et cetera. It's just, we're just standing by waiting for this. And unless somebody else wants to do it, go ahead, Jack.
Update, the landing pad is roughly, it's between 700 and 800 feet from where the launch mount is. It's hard to say where I should measure from because Google Maps has outdated imagery that does not have the tank farm or the mount on the imagery, but it does have the landing pad. So I'm going to say between 700 and 800 feet.
So that's 200 meters. 700 feet would be over 200 meters if my math is right. Chat will correct me.
And that could be, it could be less based on, I'm not sure where that mount is and how much of the berm that is visible on Google Maps that it is taken up by the tank farm. So it could be less. It could be closer to 150 meters or 200 meters exactly. But yeah, that's just a rough estimate there.
Yeah. So do you want to keep running through the super chats there? Do you want me to take some? You need a break?
Sorry. Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah, Chris, of course.
Earlier, who said, I don't know why Christy blocked you. I have been quiet because it has literally taken me this long to go in and find you. I couldn't even find you on like the short block list that I have, but I think I managed to correct it, and it was a total error. It was not on purpose, so my apologies.
Nice. Excellent.
Thank you for mentioning it because sometimes that happens, Jack. You're correct. Like things just go quickly, and you can accidentally click the wrong person. But weird. But I found it and corrected it. Yes.
It definitely happens sometimes.
It's just the nature of the tweet threads that we get into sometimes. You know, if it blows up and if it's going crazy, and then if someone with good intentions is trying to quell someone with bad intentions, they can get caught in the crossfire. It's a whole thing. So I don't even know if that's what happened in your situation right there, but that's it's happened to me before, surely. So
exactly,
and Chad is saying we got grass venting. I'm trying to look for that now.
Yeah, we see the grass venting. It's been there for a pretty good while now. It's just sort of ambient venting, it looks like.
Das, I think you probably have a better chance of actually getting through the super chats in a timely fashion. If I do it, we'll probably spend another 30 minutes doing it. As I express my deep, profound thanks to each and every individual person. But before you run through them, I just wanted to really quickly in our question queue here, just say, Ephraim says, "I'm a broke college kid. I have only love to contribute." Just to be clear, dude, your love is plenty. Your love is so much. It is plenty and it is sufficient, and you should not feel guilty for not being able to contribute dollar amounts or anything other than love. Contribute your love. That's plenty, and we appreciate your eyeballs and the fact that you're hanging out with us, watching this tank in the sun in the Texas heat. That's awesome, and that's enough. Thank you. Don't feel like you have to contribute. That's what everyone else is doing for you. It's a team effort. We're all a team here. So with that, I'll let you run through those super chats, Don. Good luck,
Jack. I couldn't have put it more eloquently. We appreciate your eyeballs.
We do.
Jack is absolutely right. There's tons of different ways to be a part of the community here. The people that are able to financially contribute, that's cool. But you know something? Showing up, asking questions in chat, clicking on the little thumbs up button, like and subscribe, retweeting tweets, just whatever. There's all sorts of different ways that you can participate and be a part of this. So we do appreciate all the different ways that people are here to share this with us. I'm going to speed run some super chats here really quickly. And let's see what we can do. You already got that one from Nathan Taylor, but I will bring it up. It says, thanks to all of you for your important work documenting history, with a special shout out to Mary. Nathan, absolutely always special shout out to Mary there. We've got Max. We appreciate you there, Max. We've also got Eastview Racer. You guys would be a perfect use case for Starlink for fields. Nice. I mean, hey, once there's enough Starlink satellites up there, I agree. I'd love to see some Starlink dishes, see if we can't get some live stream or some communications up over them. We've also got Aces Down. Was afraid I was going to miss it. Thanks for having them wait for me. Yeah, I texted Elon. I was like, dude, Elon, Aces Down isn't in the stream yet. We always see them. Could you just hang on for a little while? Yes, no, that's not actually what happened. Aces Down, we appreciate you. You made it just in time. The Merry Hydration Fund, nice. And then we've got Ed. Thanks for the great coverage. It's good to see humanity come together for a common goal. We appreciate you, Ed. We've got Callion. Why is SpaceX going for hexagon tiles, even though the space shuttle has problems with them? Were there a lot of hexagon tiles on the space shuttle? If only we had a space shuttle person here. Chris. I just heard Chris's dog bark, I think. He may have stepped away, and then I called on him.
I muted my microphone.
So hexagon tiles. I don't remember a lot of hexagon tiles.
There were not, no. There were some oddly shaped and designed tiles, but on the space shuttle, in terms of the ceramic, thermal protection system,
right?
But those were mainly for like odd little areas and odd little corners where you needed things to come to, like a triangle point instead of a square point, and things like that. The thing with the tiles on the shuttle and why they're probably going with hexagon shapes on Starship is hexagons. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get this, but I believe that hexagon tiles provide more of an ability to like reconfigure, like easily reconfigure. It's sort of like a neutral shape.
Interesting.
In this regard, for the overall design of Starship, whereas for shuttle, the tiles weren't just like, okay, on this part of the left-hand wing, this tile can be designed the same for every single one of the 5 flight shuttle orbiters.
Right.
They were literally like Endeavor's. That same tile in that same location was different on Endeavor than it was on Atlantis, than it was on Discovery. So, I mean, they were the TPS systems were not necessarily universal on shuttle, which is what they're trying to do on Starship.
Right.
So that explains the different shapes and everything that they're using.
In TPS system, you called it a TPS system. I thought of Office Space first. We're going to need the TPS report, but TPS would be thermal protection system.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to turn in this TPS.
The thermal protection system report by Saturday at noon. It's not a half day or anything. Anyways, thank you so much for that.
If you could let that rocket do a hop, that'd be great.
That'd be great. Appreciate it, Elon. Anyways, Callion, that's a great question. Thank you so much for that. Again, we're standing by for the hop of SN5. Still waiting for that tank farm activity, but we are not seeing a lot of tank farm activity here. We do not have a T0. We don't know exactly what time SpaceX. There's no public announcement on that, but that is what we're standing by. I'll keep going with the super chats here. That one apparently went through, but let's go down to the next one. That was Eddie, it looks like. Thanks for all the daily and weekly awesome coverage of history. That is Mary and Jack and Brady. All the daily and weekly coverage, those daily videos with the sunrises. Mary is out there capturing the footage, and Jack and Brady work together to edit that. And I will tell you that Jack and Brady do projects every day that would usually take video editors a couple days to put together, and Jack is out there banging them out every day. So, Jack, thank you for all the work you do making those things happen.
I'm just trying to mirror the extreme and admirable effort that Mary puts in. She puts in an insane amount of work every day, 14, 16-hour days. It's so appreciated, and that's what motivates me to do what I do. And the amount of effort I put in is a drop in the bucket compared to what she does. So
yeah, it's almost like
DOS,
to
but
do it
seriously,
justice, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly, right? Like
you want to do it
if she's
justice.
gonna
It's,
be out,
yeah.
Exactly. If she's going to be out there in the heat all day, every day doing this, I want her footage to look as best as possible to the masses in the world. So that's my motivation.
Yeah, and it absolutely does, especially when she started adding the little pop-up labels and stuff like that. It's every day. It's fantastic footage, fantastic video that we get. So thank you all for that. Ken Hoganson, thank you for the membership. We've got Java Man. This is for a breakfast sandwich. Nice for Mary there. Breakfast sandwich and coffee. Thank you, Java Man. We've got John Lowry from one of the NASA spaceflight team that worked on the restoration video. Is that the SpaceX restoration video? Is that what that would be referring to? Wasn't there like a big Elon thing?
Yes, that is. Yes.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you so much there, John Lowry, from that restoration video that was put back together. We've got Total XS. Thanks for the coverage. We've got Trevor. Appreciate the coverage. Aroha Nui from an Insomniac Kiwi. I don't know if I pronounced that term correct, but we appreciate you as well. We've got Bart Caldwell. What's up, NSF? Neopork in the house. Neopork does all those renderings and stuff. The launch can now commence.
No way.
Yeah. What's up, Neopork?
Dude, your
How's it
renderings
going?
are absolutely off the wall. Way to go. Great
They
work.
look so fantastic. They really
so
do.
Fantastic.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing those with everybody. So every little thing like that, people do infographics, people do animations, people do renderings like Neopork does, people do timelines or drawings, just all the different ways that people in the community contribute to everyone gaining an appreciation or a better understanding of what's going on. It's really a team effort with a lot of different, a community effort, I think is the right way to say it, with a lot of different people going through things or helping out.
I think of RGV aerials again. I mentioned them earlier, but those aerial views are really great. And then, like you said, Neopork with the 3D renderings, and then all the people that do the different 3D renderings are key because they help us see what stuff's going to look like. And then, oh my God, I just blanked on the third person I was going to bring up. Darn it.
That's all good. It's a community effort. There's lots of different people that come together. You just jump in whenever you remember it, Jack.
Oh, I will.
We've got Nick. Nick asked, are you guys in an RV there? No, Mary is actually on a rooftop, and the RV that you sometimes see in the foreground is a SpaceX sort of command vehicle or command center or something like that. It's a SpaceX RV up there that they've recently, I guess, moved to that position. So we're not in an RV. That's Mary. Go ahead.
Raphael with the diagrams.
Oh,
the Starship
that's
diagrams.
right. The Starship diagrams, Raphael.
How could I forget?
There you go. Hey, we've also got Ben Chicken. Ben Chicken, thank you. We've got Arash in there. I cover him, no worries. Love you, love. Thank you, Arash. We've got A Sticks. Didn't catch the name, but here's a couple of bucks for the poor college students' love. There you go. So A Sticks kicking in a couple bucks there. We've got Space Jesus. Howdy, lads and lassies. Thanks for the commentary and great information. Let's get this puppy flying. # Godspeed. Thank you, Space Jesus. I need to change my process because I'm not reading them at the right time. Let's do this. That one right there just says beer with an exclamation point. So we appreciate you, Sahil. Raf.
Okay.
Raf 1260. 2 new NOTAMs were posted. One for the hop tomorrow and the other for multiple days. Greetings from Switzerland. Michael,
Yeah,
can we get?
I can comment on that quickly.
Go ahead.
they added another temporary flight restriction in case they have to hop tomorrow instead. That has a different window than the one today. The one today is from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. local time. The one for tomorrow is from 9 a.m. to midnight. So a slightly different window, and that matches the notice that Mary received in the mail for today. That one actually said 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. to midnight. So interesting why the one for today does not match the flight restrictions, but for tomorrow it definitely looks like they're going to head towards a 9 a.m. to midnight window if they have to go to tomorrow because they have an issue today. As for the second TFR, that was just the standard TFR they have in effect at all times to keep the area in the direct vicinity of the pad clear. That expires every 2 weeks, so every 2 weeks they have to bump it, and they just bumped it with another 2-week TFR.
Gotcha. Alrighty, so I hope that we don't need those TFRs. I hope we get the hop today, but it sounds like SpaceX has covered themselves from a paperwork perspective. What do y'all think the chances are that they would hop SN5 twice? We know that they've said they want to do a lot of little hops. Yeah. I
mean, I
wonder.
If it flies and it lands successfully, like if the landing legs and the thrust vector control system for the Raptor gimbaling work, and it lands, I mean, maybe you want to haul it back to the pad and do it again.
And if we get
the more times you do it, the better your software can end up being.
Yeah, if we get a nice soft landing, when Hoppy landed, it was a little bit rough. The Raptor shut down when it was it still had a couple feet of altitude, so it had sort of a rough landing. We saw that COPV valve go bzzz off the top of the thing for Hoppy, but if SN5 lands softly, who knows what their plans are for it. It's perfectly possible they may roll it back over and try to hop it again. We will see, but we appreciate you there, Raph. Thank you very much. David England says, blather randomly, blather proudly. Blather randomly and blather proudly. Thank you, David. We've got the Top Guy. Thanks for all the streams. You guys rock. The commentary makes the stream. Thank you, Top Guy. I mean, or the blathering makes the stream, one way or the other. But we appreciate the kind words. We've also got, wait a second, the Camel. Hang on, that's yen. That's 10,000 yen?
It's $94 USD.
I've got a story. I went into the subway. Yeah, I was in Japan last year when I went out for DJI's RoboMaster competition, and we spent the night in Japan. And I went and I was like, oh, I just need to get out some cash so we can pay for subway and stuff. And it ended up handing me 10,000 yen because I was trying to get $100. And I'm like, what is this? So 10,000 yen is almost $100 US. Camel, thank you so much for that support. That is a lot of yen. One of those currency conversion things, right? So
they didn't even put a cheeky message for us to read or goof around about. They just gave us the money, and holy cow, we appreciate it.
Like Ninja vanished, but either way, we appreciate the support there, Camel. Thank you so much for the 10,000 yen. And then we've got readme.text here. Finally, Bad Astra from NSF here. Thanks for keeping the cameras going. Thank you so much, Bad Astra, under a different name here on YouTube, but we appreciate the $5. Camel, one more time. It's we always say this, Jack. I know we always say this. It's like we never can say thank you enough. What we can do is continue on with the live stream, keep answering questions, keep the commentary rolling, and just keep on keeping on. It's nothing that we can do to say thank you enough. So thank you so much, Camel, for that support.
In the same way that Mary's dedication, motivates me and us to edit and present her material in the best way possible. Your guys' support and the kind of support from the Camel and everybody, and even just everybody watching, that motivates us to continue to do what we do. And that motivates us to stay awake and, for 24 hours straight, or to drink coffee when we're already 3 cups deep, just so that we can stay hyped and bring you these feeds. And it's humbling and it's amazing. And we really, really, really appreciate it. And once again, just to underscore, if you don't have, if you're not able to contribute monetarily, your eyeballs are plenty contribution. And that is also why we appreciate people like the Camel and their large contributions, because you guys are hauling the boulder uphill for everybody else that can't contribute. So it's truly a team, a community effort, and thank you so much, the Camel. Thank you so much. You're doing your part, and you're doing so many people's parts. So you're helping bring this to everybody around the world, and we really appreciate you for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm grabbing something from the back channel over here, going back to that recovered video, the NASA
Yeah.
spaceflight recovered video. I don't know too much about that. Is there somebody that can tell us a little bit? Because I can show some things on the screen
I think
here.
that's probably
I
a good
can
one for Chris G or for
Yeah,
Michael
Chris G,
Baylor.
yeah.
But I think that's the incident that basically I had always heard of NSF. You always see L2 or NSF online on the subreddit, on the SpaceX subreddit, which I don't really go to anymore. But I would see that name pop up a lot, and I think sometime around that recovery effort, if not that recovery effort itself, was what brought NASA spaceflight to my attention. So
Yeah, I'm putting in the picture there because it says recovering SpaceX Falcon 9 ocean landing video, and this is back from June of 2014. So I'm gonna see if we can get a
Wow.
link to the video too.
Yeah,
but
Chris,
this is
there's a
go ahead.
video in our control center.
Thank you. I want to show that really quickly because I don't know too much about this. So who can tell us the story
Yeah,
of this recovered video?
So when the Falcon landed, it obviously broke up because they're doing a water landing to test the landing system, and the file that they got downlinked over their telemetry was corrupted. So they didn't really have a clean video. That what you're seeing right there is the corrupted video that SpaceX got. That's the raw footage they got from the booster. And as you can see, you can't really see what's happening very well. So for engineering purposes, it wasn't very good. So SpaceX put out a request for people to help fix it. And people on the NASA spaceflight forums were able to repair the video well enough so that you could actually see what was happening. And you can see that you can see the landing legs coming down and whatnot. So that helped SpaceX see what had actually happened on that booster landing. And then Elon tweeted out, "Great progress by NASA spaceflight." And at a later press conference, he acknowledged that it was a really useful thing.
Decoding of that corrupted file, how's that going?
Yeah, so we got the data came through really well, but the video was corrupted because unfortunately when you compress video, it's actually hard to uncorrupt and compress video because you actually have to figure out compression algorithms.
Right.
So we weren't able to get very far, but we put the video online, and then we sort of crowdsourced the cleanup of the video, and the people did a really great job of fixing it. And I actually tweeted out a link to the latest thing. And it was a bunch of people on the NASA spaceflight forum that were able to fix the video.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
Y'all should have got the audio there, right?
Yeah, we did.
All right, good. Look at that trick. So I didn't.
No, I mean, this was a massive undertaking by people
Yeah.
on the forum, and exactly what Elon said. Like, I mean, it was just like, hey, can anyone out there fix it? Like, and that was the request. That was literally it. And yeah, people spent hours and hours and hours and hours getting all of that video uncorrupted and much more stable. And it was a really cool undertaking to watch as it happened.
Oh,
Chris B in our back channel says it was an amazing effort from 50 programmers.
wow.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah, I just noticed that it actually has the repaired footage here at the end, and it shows like a before and after. So I'm gonna keep rolling that. This is the CRS-3 landing restoration NASA spaceflight forum. That's cool. So that was good video. That was good video. Sort of see the booster coming down there. I think this is the repaired video, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. That was what I was looking for. I was gonna say the first one we saw did not look quite as good.
Yeah.
But in the bottom right corner, you can clearly see the landing legs coming down and Falcon hitting the water. Soft
Wow.
So definitely a huge improvement.
That's good. So I didn't know that. First stage tips over horizontally as planned, and nice. Very cool.
As planned.
As planned. As planned.
is tradition.
As is tradition. Again, y'all, we are standing by. Back to the live feed here that is coming at you live from Boca Chica, Texas. We're the NASA spaceflight team. I'm John Galloway. You hear Jack Bayer in there every now and then. Chris Gebhardt providing some commentary. Michael Baylor as well, camera operator out there. He's camera operator, a whole lot more than just that, but bringing us the live stream camera and the recorded cameras and the daily videos and the sunrises and the pictures and everything else is Mary, Boca Chica gal, operating all of our video capture assets. But we are just hanging out, waiting for that tank farm to spool up. We want to start seeing some activity.
And just
Nothing yet.
I guess we should maybe quickly run down the timeline and what we expect to see happen while we wait. So right now we're at the pad clear status. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen. That's when all the pad personnel have cleared the pad and they are watching from a safe distance. Next, we're looking to see the tank farm activity start that Doss was talking about. As I mentioned earlier, we should first see venting and condensation coming from behind those 3 water tanks at the bottom left area of SN5, and that's where the methane recondenser is located. So that's usually what spools up first, and then shortly thereafter, all the tank farms should really be venting a lot as they begin propellant loading operations. And then after that, we'll get the 10-minute siren. That's the notice to the locals that spaceflight activities are about to happen. So that'll give us a 10-minute warning. That will be the first time that we actually have a good idea of when the T0 is going to be, unless Elon is nice enough to tweet something before then. And then we'll have the launch, the landing, then they will safe the vehicle. That's basically when the vehicle vents out all its excess propellants. And then once the vehicle is safe, the pad will reopen and the road will reopen. So that's the sequence of events we're hoping to see. Of course, this is testing. There could be a hold, there could be a delay, there could be a scrub. We don't know. But if all goes well, hopefully we'll see a hop shortly.
However, right there at where Starhopper in the center meets the big long white tank on the bottom, I swear I see venting that isn't heat distortion.
Let's see here, right in this area, Chris. Let me see, like right in here.
Right in there. Every so often you see a big bubbling of something that is not heat distortion. Or doesn't match the heat distortion elsewhere. That could be some farm activity starting there. We'll watch that, but I mention it just because it doesn't look like heat distortion.
Yeah, it's so over the course of the day, it's normal as the day gets hotter, as the sun heats up the tanks. It's normal to get a little bit of venting on there, but there's definitely something on occasion popping out the side there. I saw what you're talking about. That's you sort of get the ripple from the heat distortion on the top of the white tanks, but every now and then it gets a little fuzzier. So I definitely agree. There's something going on. Is that there's somebody wearing a cowboy hat behind the watermark in the lower left-hand corner. Y'all see that? I just noticed that down in the corner somebody's wearing a cowboy hat. What?
Yeah, there was at least 2 people there yesterday, same spot, right behind the watermark, watching the test events. So that might be a good sign. That might be a good sign that we have people watching. So that's a good thing. Good chance that they're SpaceXers out and waiting for the launch.
I labeled them. It says "Yeehaw." I should make it like a thought bubble or something like that. So
there you go.
Anyways, somebody's out there watching. I'm not sure who that is. I just noticed the cowboy hat floating at the edge of the screen.
It's super cool. I mean, it's a good vantage point.
Yeah. Again, y'all, we're standing by.
It's happening. There we go. The methane recondenser is on.
Look at that.
Oh,
Good eye. So we could be about 45, 50
right there,
minutes, somewhere around there, under an hour.
I am progressing our timeline to tank farm activity.
Under an hour.
Nice. And I'm just going to switch. I'll point it out really quickly here. That's what we're looking at. You see the cloud that's sort of condensing. That's coming from those methane condensers. And we had a puff. Hopefully that keeps going because that's the sort of activity we want to start seeing right there. Nice. Woo. Yeehaw!
So
yeah.
Excited.
We need like whip crack. Yeehaw! Oh, geez, that is going to progress us forward in the timeline. We're starting to see that tank farm activity again. A couple little vents here and there, nominal, but constant activity originating from sort of left lower base of SN5. That's what we want to see. Expect this activity to grow over time here as they continue to spool up that tank farm towards the fueling operations.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to note, is that tank farm activity is indicative of propellant flowing into the vehicle. So liquid oxygen and liquid methane are flowing into the vehicle, and that is what we want to see ahead of a 150-meter hop attempt. So it's kind of like we were talking about yesterday. It's almost like a moving target. Like, they have a time that they're trying to hit, so they start loading everything at a specific time in order to hit the time that they are, get everything loaded and ready and situated at the exact moment that they are ready to go. And holy cow, the camel again with another 10,000 yen. The camel,
jeez.
The camel, I don't, man, I'm sorry. I feel bad that I don't have a better way to express my thanks. I'm genuinely sorry, man. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what else to do. Thank you.
It's amazing because this type of support, it goes to help us get equipment. It goes to help us troubleshoot all the things, because it's incredibly difficult at Boca Chica, right? The connectivity is a challenge. So all of that support not only goes back to our people and to our team, but to bettering the equipment and bettering all of our processes here to help bring you all of these events. So truly thank you from the bottom of our hearts here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's I saw that jump up into chat, and it's just, geez, 10,000 yen is nothing to sneeze at.
No, that's amazing. That's going to go a very long way for us. Yes.
Seriously, thank you. I forgot what I was even talking about, or what were we talking about?
I have no
venting,
idea.
probably. Yeah, there's a lot of venting going on.
I'm drawing a complete blank. Oh yeah, the vehicle's fueling. Vehicle fueling. Hopefully less than an hour to go. We don't know what T0 is. We don't know when they're going to hop. All we know is that, I think, based on previous activity that we've seen from the tank farm and from the vehicle, we are somewhere around under an hour, maybe even under 45 minutes. Oh, look at that,
Jack,
large...
look at that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on, tank farm.
So we're somewhere around 45 minutes, I think, based on what we've seen in the past. It could be less, it could be more. This is conjecture here. So we do not have a T0 unless Elon tweets something, unless we get official word. But that is what we are looking at. And just really quickly, Mike Lamp here in chat says, you can sneeze at 10,000 yen, but that would be gross.
In the days of coronavirus, maybe I need to come up with a different saying there. What is that, a metaphor, a simile?
Idiom? I don't know.
Is it idiom? Yeah, I don't know.
Is it chat will immediately tell us what it is.
It doesn't use like or as, so
it's not a simile or analogy.
Yeah.
I think it's an idiom, but maybe not. Holy cow, if this thing flies today, I don't know if I'm going to be able to contain my excitement. I'll just mute myself. I mean, this thing, by all rights and accounts, is not a vehicle. Metaphor, everyone's saying metaphor. By all rights and accounts, this is not a vehicle that should be able to fly in a controlled fashion. There's no aerodynamic surfaces. It's just a cylinder. It makes no sense that this is something that you would want to do, even.
It's less of a flight and more of a balancing act, Jack. Like, when this thing goes, it is balancing on the thrust of that single Raptor engine. It doesn't have any wings to help hold it up. It's not moving through the air, and like an airplane, the wings actually carry the weight of the airplane, right? It's not on a scaffold. It's not on a tether. Sometimes you see a hop, and there's a crane above it picking it up just in case or whatever. This is literally balancing on the force of that Raptor engine. That's what it does. God.
Yeah, and I've talked smack about tethered hops before. I find them just so terribly lame, and it obviously makes sense for various situations and tests and various types of hardware. I know even SpaceX has done tethered hops with Dragon, with testing the Super Draco system. So, but they're just so much cooler when they're sort of more seat of the pants, untethered, just flying free. So
yeah. Absolutely. There's a really good question that came from Miss Blue over here and said, haven't kept up with our Starship as much. Welcome anyways, Miss Blue. I've been trying to look up what it stands for and can't find anything. What does SN stand for? So SN is a serial number, right? SN5.
Yep.
So it's like
Exactly.
the fifth, and we say the fifth iteration. The trick is we've seen SN7 out there testing something else, but this is SN5, which is the one that they're hoping that they get the first Starship prototype tank hop. Now, another thing to note here is that this is not the entire Starship. The entire Starship is actually going to have a little bit more on top of it. If we pop over this way, we would actually have some nose conage. There's going to be a little bit more room. There's going to be some nose cone up on the top of it, and then we're going to get things like some of those flaps. The flaps go on the back, I think, down here, and there's some ailerons at the front or something along those lines. But the actual full-on Starship will be larger than this. This is actually just a methane tank up at the top, a big oxygen tank, and I drew that oxygen tank a little bit big, methane tank, oxygen tank, then there's a rocket engine tucked into the bottom of it. It sort of looks like this, where there's a tank up at the top, you got some stainless steel, there's another tank here, and I don't know if I did the direction on that bulkhead correctly, but then you got the thrust puck, you have a skirt down at the aft end like this, and then you have a rocket engine that's sort of tucked up under that skirt like that, and we have the mass simulator up on top. So these are the parts of what we're seeing. It's not the entire Starship, but it's all the propulsive elements, I guess you could say. That main Raptor engine down on the bottom that'll be hopping this thing up. And when it hops, we expect it to just sort of do that right there and then land on the landing pad in the background there. So I'm done with my telestration. I got it out of my system. There you go.
You say that.
And one of the things too with Starship and what we're looking at, right, is what we're looking at is the fuel tank part of the second stage that makes it to orbit, right? So the nose cone is where the people would be and the payloads for it, but then there's like a booster that's 2.5 times the size of Starship with its nose cone and everything. That's the first stage. So what you're really seeing is the part that goes to orbit and comes back only, not the actual booster rocket on it. Yeah.
So again, that tank farm is really becoming active there. That's when we say we want to see an active tank farm, we want to see it come to life. That's what we want to see. There's multiple different places that are venting. Chris, down by Starhopper right now, you can really see that activity on top of those horizontal white tanks. Of course, we have venting from the grass in the lower left, that's lower left. We have all sorts of stuff coming from the condensation units, we think, down at the base of Starship, lower left-hand side of Starship, but that is a more and more active tank farm. That looks like the type of tank farm we want to see. And I do. It sounds like I've got a little bird. Let's check in with the ambient audio real quick out of Boca Chica. Some bird noises there in the background. Very nice. Very nice. We'll bring that back down again. Oh, should we grab a couple more super chats here? I can continue speed running if we want. Let's see. Dur. Oh, wow. Fan leader? For coffee, no more money now. We appreciate you, Dur. Thank you very much. I think that's the Mike Jacobs. Hi, guys and Mary. Are you aware of any activity at the new SpaceX property near KSP? Not the Mark II site. Are we aware of any new activity around KSC? Chris Gebhardt, that sounds like it might be in your wheelhouse.
Not particularly.
Yeah, all right.
We are aware that as of back in February, actually, as our photographer Nathan Barker was on a boat going up taking a tour of the launch pads, heading up toward the Atlas pad as solar orbiter for the European Space Agency was rolling out in February, he managed to see the landing zones 1 and 2 at the Cape had a Starship testing ring assembly on it. But that's the only thing that I'm aware of. I know there's a lot of deconstruction work going on Starship MK1 at the Sidco Road facility and everything like that. The Roberts Road facility on Space Center property is sort of slowly, it's been paved, the road has been widened, the access road off State Road 3 has been reconfigured. They're in the process of building the Starship launch pad inside the perimeter of 39A. But that's really it. So that I'm aware of. So if there's something more specific that you're asking about, or a specific location, please let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll go investigate as
Yeah.
we can.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Either way, thank you, Mike Jacobs. We got Jala J as well. Jala said, when you said the camel, I literally searched the screen for a camel. I could draw one, Jala. I mean, if you want, I could start to draw a camel on the screen. Careful what you wish for. Arash.
Folks, for Das's art class.
There's another one from Arash, and it says, today's coffee on me. Thank you so much for the $20 there, Arash. Martin, new membership. Appreciate you. We got Andy. Love the commentary. Great to see lots of people getting inspired by SpaceX. So do we, Andy, and we're so happy we're able to bring this view to you, share this experience with you. Andy said, good luck, SN5. I agree. We've got Jim Denton. Info to join the Discord. Do we have... we're really going to have a web page that explains the Discord. I know that it's hidden somewhere in YouTube if you're a membership, but we may need like step-by-step instructions, like a video or something maybe. Michael, anything else on Discord there?
Yeah. You have to be it's a member perk. You have to be a Capcom member or higher. And then once you do that, you go to Discord settings, so connections, YouTube, connect your YouTube account to Discord, and then it can take up to an hour for access to the server to be granted. That's just how long Discord takes to check.
So it may be helpful, like if you explain to me, maybe we make a quick little video that just explains how to go through and where to click and that sort of stuff, So that may be a useful bit of feedback. Go ahead.
Support on that video, let me know. I'm happy to help out. Anything for our members.
Excellent. We can put some little labels, and it's like, click here with little labels saying...
There you go.
Let's see here. We've got Jim. Oh, that was Jim Denton right there. Sorry. We got. I gotta get myself back into the frame where it immediately appears on the screen. Les, another new membership there. We got Kaz Masters, a new membership. Daniel, that's Daniel Stein. It says, remember SN5's first successful hop? Pepperidge Farm remembers. More hot bean water. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Nice. Ben Hewell over here says it's Kimball Musk down in the corner with the cowboy hat. Nice. Kimball known for wearing that cowboy hat sometimes. Appreciate you, Ben. Brandbard, you guys rock. Thank you, Brandbard, for saying that. We try. Tunushi, think there'll be a teardrop nose cone and external fuel spheres. I don't think there's going to be external fuel spheres on here. I do believe that we'll see the nose cone. It's more of like a bullet shape on the nose cone than a teardrop, I guess. But,
I do like the term fuel sphere, though. Like if I was buying a Starship, like you buy a car and you're picking the options, and the salesperson was like, "Yeah, but you really got to get those fuel spheres. You're gonna have really limited range once you get the fuel spheres." I'd be like, "All right, sign me up, fuel spheres. That sounds good."
Oh, you want to go to the moon and Mars on the same trip? You're gonna need the optional fuel spheres, like spheres, circles, balls, whatever. Anyways, thank you so much there, Tunushi. We've got Jeremy Warren as well. Thank you, Jeremy. We've got Jan Nielsen. Is Starhopper converted to a water tower? It had a hose connected to it some days ago. I think we may have seen some of that in Mary's update video yesterday. So I'm going to link it up really quickly. But yesterday we got a fantastic update from Mary. There's the link in the chat. And it looked a little bit like this. A lot of what they were showing was... it looked like water infrastructure, I guess, being installed. So this is here, of course, the sunrise video. And I'm just going to let that sort of pull through in the corner, and we'll see some of the water tank structure that looks like it's been added to the bottom of Hopper. But we appreciate the support there, Jan. Let's watch this video and see if we see those new pumps and stuff. The time lapses, though. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a water pump. It's even blue piping, which I think is generally... if it's water, you have the piping blue, but Jack can correct me if I'm wrong there. But it's one of those questions where somebody on the NASA Spaceflight forums, or somebody watching this right now, or somebody in the comments of the video knows or works with that exact piece of equipment and can get in the comments and say, "Oh, I know what this is. That's a particulate matter decombobulator." And so
look at the reflection of the cloud in the water.
That's my favorite sunrise yet.
Yeah, that is a gorgeous sunrise photo.
Folks, the picture-in-picture here, I don't want to take away the live feed from Boca Chica, but the picture-in-picture here does not do that video justice. So make sure you click on the link. I just put the link in chat one more time because that is just ridiculously good video. You need to put that full screen. It's beautiful photos. Yeah.
Also, if you know what that piece of equipment on the back of the flatbed truck is right there, I would love to know, because I don't know if there's anything I hate more when I'm editing these videos as when I have to label something unknown. I wish I knew what every single thing was, but I don't. And the community absolutely comes into play, helping us figure out what each individual part is. So yeah, that water pump looking thing connected to Starhopper, we've seen over the last several days and weeks modifications to Starhopper. And finally, they have connected like a big pipe and a slightly smaller hose or a slightly smaller pipe to some fittings that they have added to Starhopper. And thanks again to Mary for constantly going out there day after day after day, so we see the step-by-step changes that are occurring. And yeah, so it looks like a water pump, and I'm dying to know if anybody has any concrete information or can link me to something that is definitive. I would love to know what that is. And it would make sense if they turned Hopper into a water tower. It's right near the landing pad. It's right near the launch pad. It could supply additional amounts of water, should they need it. So there you can see unknown.
I skip forward to that, Jack. Yeah.
Connecting to Starhopper, and you can see there's a larger, darker colored pipe coming off at a right angle and going down one of the legs, and then there's also that blue pipe connected, and then yeah, exactly. So those are both new, and that entire fitting down there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's where the ground umbilicals connected to Starhopper before, when it was tanking and before it disconnected and took off. That's where it would connect to the tank farm. So they have modified Starhopper's ground support connections to accept water or whatever that is coming out of that pump instead of the gases that it was previously taking. That's what it looks like. And wow, have I been spaced out on the main image here, or is the tank farm activity really going ham?
It's going, yeah, it's still going.
Really,
so
yeah.
The camel is back at it.
No, hang on a second, really? Here it is. Look at this camel. Camel got some text in there. Look at this. Hey, I figured it out. All I want to say is relax, you guys. I appreciate all the work you do to this for you do to get this to us for free. And a special shout out to Mary. Without Mary, there would not be this community that we can rally around. All you guys are awesome. Camel, thank you so much for the kind words there. That is accurate, and it is super kind. Look at it. You got the message going across the entire bottom of the screen. We really do appreciate the support and the kind words. This is the third time. That's the third 10,000 yen. That's 30,000 yen.
That's insane. And to be clear, you can @ NASA Spaceflight in the chat, buddy, and that'll help us see what you're saying. You never feel like you have to pay us to be read, but I mean, we're absolutely going to read you if you give us 10,000 yen. I mean, holy cow, dude, 30,000 yen.
I mean,
thank you.
I don't like to put it that way, but it's accurate. Like,
yeah. Well, sometimes people will like do a second super chat just to like comment on something we've said, which we love and appreciate. And if you want to do that, more power to you, but never feel like you have to. But yay, I'm glad you figured it out. And dude, I don't have words. I don't have words that are sufficient to express my heartfelt words.
Yep,
brain.
Words. How do they work?
Thinking.
I think for so many people, us included, this is, for at least for me, right? Being in my early 30s, I did not see Apollo. I did not see the start of our space program. I didn't see that huge, gigantic leap forward. So this is so meaningful to get to watch all of this and to, and because of Mary's dedication and love for this. But this is exactly what we're all geeking out about, because we're watching ourselves take that first step. We're watching all of this come together. I mean, we're literally looking at not just a Mars ship, but we're looking at something that's potentially revolutionary in terms of Earth travel, point to point. Das, I know you have questions and stuff about that. But, we're also seeing a lunar lander being tested here. I mean, the amount of what we are seeing being tested here is I think in a lot of ways overwhelming for what this system is. But the simple fact that we are watching this amazing symbol of hope and change for our species and for our knowledge of our universe and our place in it is absolutely amazing. And I mean that's what this means to me. I don't know if that's a good thank you for everyone who has supported us.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you, Chris. The liquid oxygen tank just started venting.
There we go.
All right.
So there is propellant in the vehicle.
So what do we think? We think we're maybe less than I don't know, 30, less than 20 minutes, somewhere in there. We're getting really close. If that liquid oxygen vent is starting to vent, that's always
maybe like 11:30 plus or minus a couple minutes.
Okay.
I agree. I'm gonna draw really quickly for y'all. I'll draw the actual SN5 a lot larger here, like this, and then we have. I guess I drew the top off it a little bit. There we go. And I have the legs underneath it. This is sort of the test stand. And what we're talking about, there's some venting happening right here, sort of out of the side. You can see it down on the bottom. That's what we're looking at, that vent that's coming from the lower left-hand corner. That's the new thing, and that's why we move the checklist in the upper left-hand corner to propellant loading. Once we see that, we know that there are liquids flowing in earnest into the vehicle. That right there is what we're looking at. Thank you, Michael, for pointing that out.
Holy cow. We could actually be really close to this thing flying through the freaking air.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The birds are excited too. You hear the birds starting to chirp around there?
I mean, what is this? This is like 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes or something if we're headed for the 30 mark here, based on when the fuel farm started doing stuff. Yeah,
15, 20 minutes, somewhere in there, I think is a good bet based on what we've seen in the past. And Ben Craddock in our back channel, following up on that water pump discussion we were having a few minutes ago, he said in a regulatory filing, that radar, that spinning radar that we can see on top of Starhopper, it states that is on top of a water tower.
Oh, it does? Nice.
So officially, according to SpaceX, in a regulatory filing, Starhopper is a water tower. Which I don't know if I have words to express how happy that makes me.
Jack, I think we already know it, because isn't it you that screams in our intro video, "Water towers can fly"?
No, that is Tim Dodd.
I think that's Tim.
You? I have thought that was you for over a year doing that.
No,
okay.
no,
Chris,
that's Tim, and it's
that was just Tim's payback.
I just wanted. I wanted to keep that in there, and the intro video has a couple little sound ups that I feel like are significant from spaceflight history. I mean, we've got SCE to aux, we've got yikes, we've got your go for roll, throttle up, stuff like that. So I don't know. I really love that Tim expresses his enthusiasm, and you do too on streams. I like that you're not afraid of expressing your enthusiasm, because it's infectious in the same way that laughter is infectious. And what you don't hear always in those clips, unless you go back and watch the full clip in the Remembering Starhopper video, I think, which I shouldn't have just outed myself. I scream too, but I scream and I usually cut the video after "water towers can fly" whenever I use that clip, because that's the good part. The people don't want to hear me go, "I can't believe it." People don't care if I can believe it or not. People care that Tim is properly articulating that water towers can in fact fly. And yeah, it's pretty hilarious that now it is actually a water tower. But I digress. If you're just joining us, I think I'm not looking at YouTube right now, but I'm guessing we're getting an influx of visitors as we get closer to prospective hop time. We are expecting a hop. We don't know when. We think we're under 20 minutes away, and we are extremely excited to see what is essentially a tank section, a prototype tank section of Starship, SpaceX's next rocket architecture, take flight for the first time. That little thing there on the left, Starhopper, that is the only other piece of Starship hardware that is intentionally flown so far. So we are hoping to see oh wow, this thing is going to take off and fly through the air. It's kind of hard to even believe.
It really is.
So we don't get too terribly behind in the super chats. I'm going to speed run some really quickly. G-Force, we appreciate you. James Morgan doing God's work. Thanks with the rocket and the clover. I like it there, James. Thank you for that one. Hugo, new membership. Appreciate you, Hugo. DYU, more DOS doodles. More DOS doodles. I'll see if I can put more DOS doodles on the screen, DYU. We've got Dugong 272. No other news outlet has on-stream illustrations. Keep it up, Dugong. Thank you very much. I like the telestration. It's sort of like football plays, but for spaceships. Dan Vitale, any chance the Cowboys can move their lab? Dan, I'm almost sure that's not what that is, but we appreciate the support. Matthew, thank you for the membership. Saith, thank you for the $4.99 curly L's. Arthur says unrelated, but Rocket Lab just announced a big performance upgrade. Rocket Lab announced a performance upgrade. Let's talk about that in just a minute here as I continue to speedrun. Appreciate the 150 RUB there. We've got Josh Simpson as well. Amazing crew and show. You guys continue to deliver. For future broadcasts, would you be kind enough to turn on live captioning? Josh, that's something that we'll definitely look at. I think we've looked at that in the mode that we normally operate in. Doesn't support the live captioning, but I'll look at it. I'll take that as a personal thing to look into live captioning so we can at least have some comedy where it's not understanding how quickly I talk. I will definitely look at that for you. Thank you. That's a great feedback. Pixels don't move. Good job, guys. Not so Google anymore. Is my super chat cool enough? We appreciate you. Derek Tweedy, it says, thank you, Mary. Always, Derek. Thank you so much to Mary. Your true is uncharted wonderful. Thank you for being you. Ad Astra, y'all. That was actually, that is a nice donation. Thank you. Nice. Appreciate you, Derek. Thank you so much for that one. We've also got Bruce T. I've enjoyed the show for the past several live streams. Keep up the good work, Bruce. Thank you as well.
Venting, is that normal?
That's a lot of venting.
Yeah.
That's what we see, Chris, when we don't have very strong winds. So the venting sort of collecting instead of blowing off to the left-hand side of the screen. That's an indication that the winds are sort of light out there. But that is what we saw a couple days ago.
Also, I mean, yesterday we saw that the liquid oxygen vent. It started around 20 minutes before we saw the engine try to start up and abort. So 20 minutes the LOX vent starts, and these are rough estimates. And then, I mean, right now we're thinking we're somewhere around maybe 10 or even 10 to 15 somewhere. And the volume of that LOX vent has picked up considerably. Good eye. And we saw the same thing yesterday around the same time in the flow. So I think we might be able to. Yeah, and we might be able to think of that liquid oxygen vent as sort of similar to Falcon 9's big 20-minute vent, but not at 20 minutes. But yeah, we could be minutes or seconds away from hearing that 10-minute siren that will indicate that a possible overpressure event could occur in flight or as part of these flight activities.
And given that, I'm going to bring up the ambient just a little bit. You'll hear a little bit of buzz there, or the ambient noises at Boca Chica, but we don't want to miss that siren. So expect to hear some birds chirping and things like that. But if we are actually that close, we do not want to miss that 10-minute siren. Again, the sheriff's department sounds a siren and literally does a lap around Boca Chica Village to warn everybody about an impending event. So, I hope hey, don't want to jinx it. I hope we get to see this thing hop. I mean, I hope we get to see this thing hop.
I bet we hear the siren any second now.
Yeah. I am going to...
We're all like watching in the back channel for Mary to start taking the siren.
Yeah. Since we have the ambient audio up, I'm going to keep speedrunning super chats, and if I hear the siren, I'm going to be quiet. Joe, we appreciate you there. Thank you so much, Joe. Jonathan Stewart, thanks so much for all you guys do. Thanks, Marius, for the awesome pictures. Jonathan, thank you for the kind words there. Mitochondriac, nice. That's like the powerhouse of thinking you're sick. We appreciate you. It says, nice drawing, man. Thank you, Mitochondriac. Dougal, woohoo, let's light this candle. I agree with you, Dougal. We've got David Englund, a new membership there. We've got Jocelyn Wagner. We've also got Bin Chicken 42, all new memberships. We've got Cole Logan with the Texas Tank Watchers. It's actually like, it looks like an emoji illustration of the path that hopefully the rocket takes there. Thank you, Cole, for those emojis. Nick Digger, I'm a stream-only consumer of NASA spaceflight. Can you talk more about what sort of community you have over on the forum. How can I engage more? Who wants to grab that? I mean, we've got the forum. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. So, so our forum, there's a free side of our forum, as well as a paying part of our forum, which helps us maintain all of our servers and everything. But yes, it's absolutely free to join the online forum community where you can discuss all of the upcoming missions. You can get updates on all of the missions, some really cool future historical, some really cool future stuff, and really technical stuff, as well as historical database. So yes, you know, we're a wonderful community online on our forum, and it's absolutely free.
Look
Excellent.
at that vent. That is a
Yeah.
huge vent coming off.
There!
Oh, siren!
Siren!
There's the siren. I'm gonna crank it up. That is the 10-minute warning, folks. The 10-minute warning. Impending dangerous spaceflight operations. 10 minutes from this siren. So, Michael, do we think we're gonna put a countdown on there?
Yeah, that
So
work.
that,
All right.
yeah, so that should be, that's really quiet there all of a sudden for me on my end, just FYI. But
Okay.
so that should be based on the timing 11:34 a.m. Central Time. Should be the 10-minute conversion.
We've got
that's
top
an estimate.
venting
We
as
don't-
well.
yes.
We don't know what kind of lag there would be between the sheriff receiving the message to do the siren, him doing the siren. So, but roughly, yeah, somewhere around there, 11:24.
And
I
of
mean,
course
I hit my timer right when he started, and I'm already like at 8 minutes. So, we're close. We're really close.
Okay.
Jeez. Again, a lot of people asking, why is there a siren? The siren is there to serve as a warning for the residents of Boca Chica. Very few residents left of Boca Chica. Mary is one of the only people who still lives there. And that warning is to warn the residents that they may want to exit their house. In case something happens, there's a possibility that an explosion would create a pressure wave that may shatter the windows of your house. And you don't want to be inside the house and get shattered with glass. A lot like a tornado may cause a pressure differential. And they say to stay away from windows. Same sort of thing if we get an explosion during the critical spaceflight operations here, the testing. So that is why there is a siren. It serves as a warning to exit your house. Good question, though.
All right, we've got top venting too, which is a great sign that everything is looking great. We are proceeding into a potential hop here. This is absolutely fantastic, and we are on the verge of, we hope, seeing a significant progression in humanity's ability to just throw massive amounts of cargo and crew into space. So, I mean, this is exciting. If you're not excited for this, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, this is like some excitement level that I'm starting to feel like watching Bob and Doug come home on Endeavor and Demo 2 the other day, where I like, so excited.
Yep, Falcon Heavy level excitement. This is I mean, I'm shaking right now. I can't really keep my legs still. I'm doing the whole, classic nervous leg bounce. If I was there right now holding a camera like Mary is, I would be shaking. I would be, and it's as many times and as many launches as I've seen and photographed. It's nerve-wracking and exciting and amazing, and it's a heck of an adrenaline.
Oh,
We got a double siren.
this is the double siren. What does 2 sirens mean? 2 hops? They're gonna land it back on the launch mount.
It means by space.
By
One
space.
siren by land, 2 sirens by space.
What if by land and 2 if by space?
I can't tell you how pleased I am with myself right now. Oh, I got to make a space Paul Revere joke.
The space
Christian,
Paul Revere.
Christian, I see you saying, Jack, please be quiet a bit when it fires. Yeah, we're all going to shut up when it fires, especially me. Don't worry.
I see the drone. That looks
Drone's
like
up.
it's fire.
Yep.
Drone
The
is up.
The DJI
Yeah,
has
drone-
fire flying up there.
The drone might be going up to 150 feet to be able to catch it at apogee. If you remember, think about how Starhopper's hop was filmed. I would imagine they're going to put the drone in a similar spot, and you can see it just went up out of frame, which would make sense because I think Starhopper's hop was filmed basically from a vantage point. The drone was above it, looking down on Starhopper, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it would want to be above 150. So that makes sense. That would go where it just went.
The
3 minutes?
drone is in the
We're
upper
showing
left-hand
3.5
corner.
minutes on our timer. Is that
Yep.
accurate?
That's
Yep.
that's what it says.
That's accurate, yeah. To the hop, yeah, or to the siren, yeah.
Wow.
Man, Jack, I'm with you. I feel nervous. Like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, I'm just fidgeting in my chair right now.
I'm gonna have y'all
Iridium,
control the stream.
The great satellite company Iridium, one of the swag bags they gave us for one of the launches they did out of Vandenberg had a fidget spinner in it, and I am just wearing out the bearing on this Iridium fidget spinner that I have.
I'm curious how many
That
likes
is-
we can get on the stream before we get down to
I'm squeezing the Starliner capsule to no end right now.
the Starliner capsule. Nice. I was saying, I'm curious how many likes we can get on the live stream before we get to T-1 minute. It's 244, T-244. We've got about 2,500 likes. I wonder what that number can get to before we get to 1 minute. Everybody's got a button. Click it if you want. Almost 20,000 people watching. Oh, there's 1,000 likes all of a sudden.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, we are going to quiet ourselves as we get close to the activity. We will be switching over to ambient audio. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel because we will have raw footage from different cameras that are much more zoomed in that Mary is operating right now that we will upload to the channel shortly after the hop, if it hops. So keep in mind, this is not the only content that's coming from us. Mary is absolutely a machine. And thank you again to Mary for being out there and diligently and capturing all of this stuff. I mean, there's nobody crushing it quite like Mary is, and except no substitutes. We got a double vent that I don't know if that's bad or what.
There is
I'm
a double
seeing
vent there on the
I'm
vehicle,
seeing
yeah.
a sustained double vent.
You can hear it, actually.
That's not great.
We'll see. Let's see what we get.
Hopefully not.
We usually don't like the double
like
vent.
a minor little change because they're not fully prop loading it, maybe? I don't know.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
That is a long, sustained double vent. That doesn't look great.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah. We'll see. Who knows? I know there's a lot of F's in chat,
Yeah.
but you see the
It'd be
two.
about a minute away from ignition if that was Colton, but
There was
that's
an
a
abort.
long vent.
There was an abort.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's going to be an
Yeah.
abort. Oh my gosh.
But they could recycle, so nobody leave. This could still they did not get down to like the final minute. They could still recycle pretty quickly here because Raptor never did anything. So
Yeah.
let's wait
That's
and
a
see what
point.
happens.
I wanted to make this point earlier, actually, when I think it was Chris that was talking about it. Basically, when we were being asked if we think they might do more than one 150-meter hop, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. And they're testing a lot of things with this vehicle, other than just the vehicle itself. They're testing the mount, they're testing the GSE flow, they're testing how to load it, they're testing how to condition the propellants. They're testing a variety of things that I probably can't even think of. I mean, even just their range safety. We were escorting that boat out the other day during that static fire attempt. So the fact that they have a nice long window today, and the fact that they're testing a variety of things with these activities besides just a 150-meter hop, surely they are getting a lot of data on how to cycle these methane and liquid oxygen propellants. So hopefully they'll be able to recycle them quickly today. It could have been something to cause that abort as simple as the engine saw temperatures it didn't like. Temperatures of the propellants weren't exactly right. And that's why this is the sort of thing where they are also testing, exactly how, like I said, how to condition the propellants just right, or how to get things exactly to how the vehicle wants it, and so everything is happy and it can fly. And they're not going to do it hastily. They're only going to do it when the vehicle is ready. So we are not even bummed out. Well, I mean, I'm a little bit bummed out that it didn't go, but whatever. I'm glad it didn't explode. I'd rather
Yeah.
it still exists than it didn't exist.
Hey, it's currently 11:30. Did I get that time right? Yeah, it's 11:30 a.m. local time. SpaceX's warning went all the way until midnight. I think the TFR is a little bit less than that, but we are. They still have lots of time in the window here after that recycle. There's the local time just appeared at the top of the screen. 11:34 a.m. Central Daylight Time there. So not the end of the world. We don't actually even know how quickly they could recycle this, depending on exactly to what part of the process they got to. It may be sooner rather than later, but we did see that double vent, the two white dots that sort of appear at the top of the Starship. Those are two vents that come directly at the camera from this vantage point, and we see that double vent at the top. That's usually a sign that they've aborted their procedure. They're really close, but we're still seeing some venting from the LOX vent on the lower left-hand side of SN5. So we're not going anywhere. We're going to keep watching what happens and see if we get any information on whether SpaceX is going to try another attempt here.
Yeah, venting from the tank farm seems to have, around that recondenser behind those three vertical black tanks, I feel like it's picking up again. And we didn't see a bull vent from the tank farm. We didn't see, I don't think we saw necessarily a complete depressurization there. So things are still on. Like you said, we've got a lot of time in the window. We've got a lot of margin here. So we're looking good for another attempt. And just trying to be optimistic. I'm not great at it, but this. Oh wow! Look at the flare
Oh wow!
stack. That hopefully that is just liquid oxygen, or I mean, I don't think that would be liquid nitrogen unless that's actually part of the recondensing system. But presumably,
Yeah.
if that was methane, it would be burning and not just being vented. So good.
Yeah. Wow. Whatever it is, it looks like it's heavier than air, I'm going to guess, or colder, denser than air, because it's going up and it's almost falling down in sort of a vapor waterfall there. So is that nitrogen that's coming out? Is that something else? I severely doubt that I severely hope that that's methane, not methane.
I don't think it's methane.
Yeah. It's
Last
like a
time we said it's
geyser.
not methane, I just got to say, last time we said it's not methane, it exploded. But
We're watching.
that doesn't look like methane. It looks like nitrogen, and I don't know how the recondenser works. I would really like to know how the methane recondenser works, but it would make sense to me if it uses liquid nitrogen to cool the methane from a gas back into a liquid. So, and we all know, pressure, volume, temperature. What is that? A chemistry equation. If you shoot a bunch of canned air as you're cleaning your computer, the can gets cold. So if they're trying to cool down some component of the system or some of the propellants, perhaps venting a whole bunch of liquid nitrogen in that way would be part of that process. I'm not sure. They definitely have a whole lot of liquid nitrogen on tank. A good portion of those vertical black tanks that you see are liquid nitrogen. I think 60,000 liters or something like that in one of them. So 120,000 liters, I know for sure, at least just based on labeling I've seen on two vertical tall tanks. PV equals NRT, everybody in chat saying. Thanks, chat. Telling you how long it's been since I've done any meaningful chemistry.
True. High school days.
Look at that, though. This is something we have not really seen yet. This is a new.
Yeah.
This is a new occurrence. Yeah, that stack is. I mean, if you think about how tall, now that I say this to myself, how tall SN5 is, 30 meters. That stack is just shooting a massive column of whatever cryo fluid that is into the air. I mean, like many tens of feet. So why is chat being...
The liquid oxygen tank has stopped venting, looks like, on Starship SN5.
It has indeed, Michael. Yeah, I see.
After draining liquid oxygen through the flare stack, that's a complete guess. I have no idea, but that was just an observation.
Yeah, this is interesting. This could either be, I mean, our two options that I would imagine here, Michael, right, are that like this is some type of a contingency thing that we're seeing. Could also be because remember this is a test program, so they are testing different elements of the vehicle. This could be could have been a test of like an emergency system, not in an emergency situation, but just testing those things out. So we really need to wait to hear from Elon or SpaceX, but that's what it would appear like to me, that they're either testing something or we're in a contingency of some kind.
Got a honk in the background. Sound like a semi-truck honking or something. So we have just enabled members only chat. We don't really deal with the spamming random things in our channel. So we're going to go to members only for just a second here and handle the issue. We've got it right here. So again, a lot of people sort of, I guess, lemminged off the cliff there, and we can handle that. We've got buttons we can press and stuff. We hate to have to do it, but you know something? We can handle it. It's not our first live stream, and we will be right back with the public chat. Just stand by for us. Ah, yes. So again, we're watching here. The flare stack is still venting an awful lot of something, creating I guess it's almost like a fog bank, you could call it. See, there's not a lot of wind blowing that or spreading that around, sort of spreading out in all areas. We don't think that that's going to be methane. We think that that's going to be an inert gas. Either that's nitrogen or that's going to be liquid oxygen. We're not exactly sure what they're routing through there. But that is where we are right now after the abort got down to probably about a minute. And here we are. Still, SpaceX has tons of time left in the window. They can certainly recycle this. We will continue to watch what's happening, but we'll see. Hopefully this all clears up and we get another attempt at a hop here.
One of the things I was going to say before we had the abort and before I just completely forgot was that the wind conditions that we had were really nice. It was blowing the cloud sort of to the left, and we had visibility of the launch mount despite the condensation and the cloud and whatnot. So it's a little bit of a shame it didn't go when it did, because we would have been able to see the Raptor start up.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get to see that cloud clear out before the next attempt. Or, I mean, hey, if it goes when there's a cloud like that there, I think the effects of the rocket engine on that cloud could look pretty darn cool too. So
yeah, cold flaring. Nice. Dr. J called it cold flaring. The cold flaring is giving Dr. J the willies. I mean, it's sort of weird to see something coming out of that flare stack like that, because normally that's going to be a combustible something. That's going to be methane, and it is definitely weird to see something coming out of the flare stack. But again, we've seen the flare stack vent in this manner before. Sort of looking through it and thinking about it, it's certainly hoped that that's not methane. That looks like a nominal procedure that SpaceX is going through. But we're continuing to watch what's going on.
Daniel Stein in our chat, and wow, it's like members only chat. So thank you for being a member, Daniel. Says, I think that's a nitrogen purge as part of a recycle. I think that's a plausible presumption.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll agree with you.
It's an awful lot of nitrogen, though. It seems, it's turning from a liquid to a gas, and so you get sort of a volumetric effect where it occupies more space, right? But that seems like an awful lot of nitrogen to purge. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's calmed down though.
Yeah, a lot of activity is now calmed down. Even the flare stack itself looks more like a normal flare stack. I don't even know. Should we start calling it a vent stack? I'm not.
A vent stack, nice.
Yeah.
And somebody just asked, Out for Space asked, did they state a reason for the abort? And we do not normally get reasons from SpaceX. The only thing we might get is a tweet from Elon, but an official communications from SpaceX usually don't happen for these tests. But every now and then, Elon will hop on Twitter and explain what happened. But that was definitely an abort with the double venting and then the cold vent. The flare stack venting there, that was definitely an abort, getting down almost to somewhere under 1-2 minutes remaining, but did not get that fire for the hop. So we'll see. Some people pointing out, Top Pop says it looks like the flare stack might have gotten icy. I don't know. I mean, maybe if you were sort of looking for it, you could say the flare stack looks a little bit lighter colored. The body of the flare stack might be a little bit lighter colored, but I'm not sure that would be something we could comment on from this camera. We'll ask Mary, and we'll see if Mary has any closer view of the SpaceX of the flare stack there. Yeah. And yeah, Michael, I'll answer that one out loud. We can, there's the instructions on how to become a channel membership, but let's see if we've got the kindergarten class under control here and go back to public chat, maybe.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Button has been clicked.
Yeah, let's see what happens. We'll see if the class behaves themselves or if we have to put them in timeout again. Just call it the fog machine. Nice. Jack, that's when I first started streaming. I started streaming on Twitch many years ago, 5-6 years ago now. And you get people that come in and troll, and you get people that spam things. And before I did Twitch, I actually did after-school programs for kindergartners. And I always tell chat, I'm like, come on. I used to deal with the class of kindergartners. I can handle a little bit of chat trolling.
Yep. Let's see. I mean, it'll be a good data point because since we knew, we had the siren, we knew roughly when they were going to go based on the siren. So now we're going to get a good data point on how long it takes them to recycle, which is, more data. I like to say more data is more better. Mary in our Discord, thank you, Mary, for the update. Says sure looks like it's got ice on it.
That's cool. She's got those other cameras, the other cameras running different lenses, so she might end up with a little bit of video or a still shot of that flare stack there. So we did ask her. You can see whatever's coming out is definitely going down towards the ground. And of course,
looks like we're getting some activity from the tank farm again. Look at that behind the three.
The 3 tanks, yeah.
Yeah, yep. So that could be the recondenser becoming active again as part of a restart and refuel.
Yeah, here's what we're looking at right here. Let's see if my presentation layer is still working. And right in this area, I mean, you can see that there's venting happening down here again. So flare stack still sort of doing its little flare stacky thing, but the venting has not completely stopped. It will be very telling if we see venting in this area. We see the tank farm activity start to pick up all through here. That looks like somebody's hair. It'll be interesting. Look for a vent right here. So look for that LOX tank to reactivate. That may be a sign that they were able to do a fast recycle. We don't know, but we'll see if we start to get some venting from the lower left-hand side of SN5.
And we haven't seen the bull vent, which is good. We think.
Yeah, the bull vent over on the left-hand side, like the full-on hard abort or whatever, like done for the day vent or whatever we want to call it.
Yeah, the go home and eat a snack vent.
Yeah. Over on the left-hand side of the flare of the tank farm, there's something we call the bull vent, and it literally looks like a bull snorting, like, the cartoonish 2 snorts coming out of the bull's nostrils. It looks like that when it happens, so we don't want to see the bull vent on the left-hand side. That's definitely like the vent that signifies go eat a sandwich. Or worse, sleep.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Right, well, we wanted to answer some questions. We want to do some super chats. We got some new members. We had a bunch of new members when we went members only chat. Dalton Hicks, Bill Sparks, Nicholas Harms,
Yeah.
Zachary Wright, Eves Smolders, Admiral Marith, Barkley. That's a good name for a dog. I'm not, oh wow, I just realized that can be interpreted not nicely towards you. I feel bad now, and I don't know how to dig myself out of this hole. Nicholas Harms, I already did that one. I already did Dalton Hicks, Rich Hooker, Alex Waters, a whole lot of new members. Everybody, thank you for the new memberships. And depending on what level your new members, what level you're subscribed at, like, is it subscription? I don't know. Whatever you're a membership at, you get different perks. And definitely enjoy the ones you got. Throw a Gwen emoji in chat if you're a member, because I'm a big fan of the Gwen emoji and Gwen in general. But also, if you're, I think it was Capcom and above, you get Discord access. And if you're wondering how to do Discord, you need to connect your Discord to YouTube, and it can take up to an hour. And we can work on getting a video or something up to help you guys do that. Tom Malcolm, also new member. Art Theo, also new member. Dave S. and Sophie Kiernan. Whole bunch of new members today. Thank you, everybody. It's awesome. And the chat is blowing up with Gwen emoji.
Whoa. Jack, look.
What?
What?
Whoa! No way!
I don't.
I got it. Build started with a $500 super chat.
I can't even.
Thanks for all that you do, and especially to Mary. I watch you all the time and browse the forums, even though I don't ever participate, and I wanted to show my appreciation. Somebody in chat, I did say, whoa, that's exactly right. Whoa, $500 super chat. That right there is crazy. That is a new record, isn't it?
That's a new record for us. By far, a new record for us.
God.
I think up until that, we had the camel with the 3 different ones that combined into an insane amount. But that, I'm sad. I'm sad, honestly, and not because the super chat made me sad. It's my inability to express appreciation for that level of generosity towards the stream, and for that amount of help bringing this content to the world. It's insanely helpful. That is huge. That is huge, and trust me, we are going to do every single thing that we can to just absolutely blow this channel out of the water and just make it the very best that we can. And I mean, we've been doing it for just a little over a year, right? We haven't even had this channel very long.
It was October of last year. October of last year when we first started uploading things. Sort of started uploading things. So
and the reason that we've come this far this fast is because we found an audience in you guys, and we were able to, put the pedal to the metal. And because Mary is so relentlessly dedicated every single day to being out there and bringing everybody these views and documenting history, because she understands and she knows it's important. And I don't want to speak for her too much, and I really want to get her on comms so that we can have her say it for herself. But I know she cares about documenting history. I mean, it shows in her actions. And
these are fireworks.
It's just, yeah. I mean, just seriously, thank you so much, man. Thank you, Build Started. Thank you. And just wait is all I can say. Just wait. That's probably the best way I can thank you, is say it's only been a year, and we haven't even gotten to super heavy yet. And we're just looking at the tank section right now with no aero surfaces, with without anything on it. It's just a tank section, and you guys are showing us this much love, and I just want to show you our appreciation and let you know that as SpaceX keeps the pedal to the metal in Boca Chica, with your help, so will we.
Palm trees or dandelions or whatever. We appreciate the support there. Build Started, thank you so much for that is you know the saying, it's crazy, but that's our kind of crazy. Thank you so much for the trust. I mean, you do that, and that shows that you trust us to bring you good content, to bring you activities, to get you accurate stuff, to not sit here and just try to hype things or give you something. Oh, just keep watching. Yeah, it'll hop in 10 minutes. That amount of support means so much to us in so many different levels. So from everyone here at NASA Spaceflight, thank you for placing your trust in being a part of the community here as we bring these cool events to the rest of the world. We appreciate you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at a loss for words. The tank farm, just really quickly to update on what's going on, what we're seeing. It looks like the tank farm has a little bit of venting from the top of the vehicle there, but not a double vent. So, and I still don't see a bull vent. And
we've got a vent next to the weather station there. So the shorter tower next to the weather station, there's a vent coming off the top of that.
Yep.
Oh, Jack, is that the bull snort vent? Super low to the ground on the left-hand side. We're just looking at it from a different angle.
Oh.
I'll show you here.
Yeah,
Look.
you're gonna have to illustrate. I'm actually going to ask for you to illustrate for me, please.
Down there at the bottom of that tank, I think we've got a different field of view here, and there is a vent that was happening from there. I'm not quite sure, but that's where the bull snort vent is. We say the bull snort vent, right? Look at all the dragonflies. God, so many dragonflies. There's a tank down there near where the arrow's pointing, and you got that. There's a taller tank like this, and then there's a shorter tank next to it, and there's a vent that sort of, when it vents, it sort of comes out like that. It's either a mustache or like a bull snort. Like imagine like a bull sort of deal here, and there's some like eyes, and there's horns on the tank like this. It's a long horn. Anyways, we call it the bull snort vent because that's what it looks like. It looks like that, and that's usually a sign of a longer term recycle or abort.
Can we get somebody to illustrate that basically what you just did, but for a T-shirt or something? That'd be awesome.
A bull snort graphic for a T-shirt.
Just a tank with something. There's something there, is what I'm saying. I'm into that. So, and speaking of T-shirts, we do actually have T-shirts, including Texas Tank Watcher shirts and hoodies. Just really quickly want to briefly mention that if you are a fanatic and you want to represent the Texas Tank Watchers,
the Texas Tank Watching community.
We actually do have a merch store, so check it out. If you see anything that tickles your fancy, snap it up. That's yet another way to support us, if you are so inclined.
There you go, right there. You can see on the screen the Texas Tank Watchers merch in the merch store there. It's got the 80s, the 80s font, and then these little graphic, the kind of 3D, like old school 3D plane in the front and stuff like that. Got the NASA Spaceflight logo.
I listen to way too much vaporwave and similar, like just various electronic types of music, and this shirt speaks directly, or this hoodie speaks directly to me. So yeah, it's basically for me. I feel like Mark just basically made it specifically for me. And if I feel like if I see somebody wearing it in person at like at a launch or an event or something, I don't know how I feel the first time that happens, but it's gonna be real. It's gonna be some real feels.
What we're hopefully what we see one day. This has happened to me on my Twitch stream. There was a NASA, like an official thing for an SRB test up in Utah, right? It's Utah, I think.
Yep.
And we're watching it. I'm covering it. I'm watching the NASA feed. I'm talking about, oh, they're testing the SRB, da-da-da-da-da. And in the background of the NASA stream, there's somebody wearing one of my T-shirts from my Twitch stream. And we lost our mind. We lost our mind. We're like, what is this? Oh, that's a shirt. That's a Major League Rocket Science shirt. What are you doing? Like, we seriously lost our mind. Yeah. And the guy messaged us on Discord. He's like, yeah, I drove all the way out there and I took my shirt from your stream so I could wear it on the NASA stream. So
that's awesome.
Please don't hop over any railings or anything like that. I don't want you running naked across 39A or anything like that, trying to get a camera on you. Do not do that. NASA Spaceflight, not responsible for. Anyways, but if somebody wears a shirt out in public, sends us a tweet of it. You're watching a launch and you've got your shirt on and the rockets in the background. Oh, what? What'd I do?
Tank farm. Look at the tank farm.
Oh, the back of it is going.
Yeah.
That's been going. The stack is still sort of going as well. Anyways,
Also, that was an amazing moment to come back on comms right in time to put my headphones on and hear you say, "Don't go running naked around 39A." And it was like, what did I miss?
well, when the assistant managing editor's away, the live stream host will play, I guess.
But you're right, Gus. It is crazy to I mean, I imagine it hasn't happened to me yet, but I imagine it's crazy to see somebody wearing a shirt in an official capacity like that, or on an official stream like that. I mean, I can't imagine how Tim, Everyday Astronaut, feels like seeing his sticker on the International Space Station.
Oh yeah.
Or like seeing Elon wear his shirt. Like that's a testament to hard work on Tim's part, and it's super cool that when stuff like that happens. So if I just meet somebody, at a meetup or something, if we ever do one of those for a launch or something in Florida, once stuff calms down and becomes whatever normal ends up being again, if I see somebody wearing a Texas Tank Watcher shirt or any of our shirts, I'm just going to have to probably hug them and say thank you for the support, and maybe try as hard as I can not to tear up. I'll think about happy things so I don't tear up.
There you go. We gotta sort of ease Jack into this. So what you can do is if you get something from the merch store, take a picture of it, and if you're wearing it, you're modeling it, you just take a picture of it coming out of the box or whatever, and post it on Twitter. Maybe tag us at NASA Spaceflight. We'd love to see some action shots. Like, I don't know, you're working engineering a real rocket. Don't take pictures inside your workplace if you work on rockets, but whatever. Just send us an action shot of some of the merch. It'd be really cool to see. A lot of people over on my Twitch stream saying that they wear shirts everywhere, and sometimes they've met other people wearing the shirts, and they know that they can hang out with them at a conference or an event, or like there was a Dota event that Banana Dodo went to and met up somebody else, and they sort of knew that they would get along because they were wearing the same sort of community identification. Can we say it that way? So anyways, yes, definitely wear pants. If you take a picture of the shirt, please make sure you do have pants on. Do we have pants in the store? We need pants in the store, I think.
Yeah.
Again, NASA Spaceflight, not responsible for.
That reminds me, I bought. I was at Edwards Air Force Base earlier last year, and whenever I'm at a place like that, I have to buy, swag at the museums or stores or whatever. And so I got some patches, and I got F-117 shirt because that darn plane is still flying and continues to thwart me, and I'll never get photos of it no matter what. But whatever. But I also got a pair of remove before flight boxers. So yeah, we should do some pants and maybe even some undies or something. We should have all kinds of cool merch in the store. I'm a fan of just goofy stuff like that.
Time out. Did you just say remove before flight boxers?
Yeah, they're extremely comfortable.
Yes,
They're probably my favorite pair. So Edwards Air Force Base has merch on point in their Air Force Flight History Museum.
I was gonna say, I believe he also said remove before flight pants, if I heard correctly.
I'm saying we should do those. They didn't do pants, but we should do those.
Right, there we go, yeah.
Because that's just good stuff right there.
Somebody said, wait, there are non-removable boxers?
I hope not.
I hope not, yeah.
Yeah, it's like some horror movie like Sauce. Anyways.
Oh, jeez. Coffee mugs, whatever it is, y'all. Again, that's just another cool way. My deal with my wife is that every new T-shirt that I get, I have to throw away an old T-shirt. Because
too, I have to have the same thing because of space. Yes,
you too. There's so many. I have a lot of Twitch T-shirts. It's like half space and half Twitch, and there's so many. Actually, it's maybe a third space, a third Twitch, and a third RoboMaster and DJI. And anytime I get new shirts, I have to choose a shirt to throw out.
That's insane. I don't know how you live like that. I have shirts like from high school still that I cherish. That I'm like, it's like my old friend. Like, oh, I think I'll wear this one today.
Usually, what I do is I like get rid of the I do that by cycling them into workout shirts and getting rid of an old workout shirt.
Okay, yeah.
I'm get to keep it, and yeah.
That's me in every white shirt I ever buy, because I love white shirts, even though I'm a black shirt kind of guy. I'm a color black kind of guy. I like darker colors, but I go out to the desert a lot, and I like to have bright clothes for when I'm out in the desert. Yeah. And every single white shirt I own, I promptly ruin because it's just I end up being out somewhere, or even if I'm not out in the desert, I'll just like take a bite of dinner or lunch or something, and it just immediately goes splat right on my shirt. So
yeah.
But
oh yeah, when you have animals too, just no way.
Yep.
No white.
Yep. So those are the ones that I always end up getting rid of, and then I'll buy yet another white T-shirt, and then I'll ruin it immediately. I'm like, why do I do this?
I think
so
we do
Go
need
for
to
it.
have a look here. We've got some super chats we need to catch up with, but everybody on the stream, we're going to need to think about our live stream operation plan here.
Yeah.
It's getting to be noon. It's 12:03 Texas time right now. It is hot out there. I mean, you could probably crack an egg on the roof where Mary's standing, and it would fry up just like it was on your stove. It's humid. You can actually see the waves, the heat waves sort of going across the screen there. And Mary is definitely out in not a comfortable environment. It's not even just comfortable. It can be dangerous to be out there for too long. I'll check what the heat index is and stuff. But we do need to determine what are we seeing from this tank farm right now. Do we stay live for 8 hours? If it's going to be 8 hours, do we have any indication that it might happen sooner rather than later? Something we're going to need to be thinking about here, y'all.
Yeah, we have to play our cards very carefully here because that Texas heat, like you're saying, is insane. And it's not just the Texas heat that we're contending with here. Like you said, Mary's also on top of a roof. And I don't know if anybody in chat has been on top of a roof during the daytime, but it's hot. It's extremely hot. It's like being in an oven. It dramatically increases the amount of heat that you're dealing with because the roof is reflecting all of that back up at you. So it is no joke, and that not only has an effect on humans, but also on the equipment as well. So we do not want to go down for any reason during critical flight activities.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have to assess how we want to play our cards and reserve our resources potentially in the event of a extended duration recycle.
Yeah. Again, SpaceX doesn't give us any exact timing. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, well, and I want to point out that the health aspect of this too, and how we
Yep.
we need to make sure we're talking to Mary and that we're cognizant of this, because as someone who lives in Florida, which has a very similar climate to Boca Chica in terms of the heat and humidity each day, there's a real bad misconception out there that just because it's humid means you understand how much you're sweating and how much water you are losing out of your body.
Yeah.
And that is so not true. That is so not true. It is just as easy to get dehydrated in Florida as it is in the middle of the desert, and in Texas as it is in the middle of the desert. So we need to be cognizant of that as well.
Yeah. So I'm checking the heat. Go ahead.
I would argue it's even worse with all the humidity there. I mean, I'll go out and frolic in the desert when it's 100 or so. I mean, it's not great, but you can do it. But the temperatures in Boca Chica, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's so close to or so much closer to the equator than pretty much everywhere else in the U.S. And it's insane how much the humidity makes a difference there, because it's beachside, but there's also estuaries and very large shallow pools of water all around that area. You know, just a couple inches deep in many places for large amounts of surface area. So all of that water just gets roasted by the sun. It just evaporates, and there's just so much humidity in the air that also has a big effect.
Yep, absolutely. And y'all, I'm doing a little bit of back channel work here. The tank farm is still sort of marginally active, but we're not getting a lot of activity there. It looks like the flare stack has stopped its cold venting. I'm going to start calling that cold venting. I like it. But we're sort of almost moving backwards after that abort, and we are not sure what the status is, especially if there was a bull vent. It may be a longer time that we have to wait here, and we do not want to cook Mary out there on the roof.
Yeah. Again, the window lasts. Go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, Michael.
I was going to say the window lasts until 8 p.m., so they still have 8 hours remaining in the window today.
Yeah. I guess one of the tricks is a lot of the times we look for that hard roadblock, and we wait for the roadblock to go up, and then we see the pad clear. But I don't think the roadblock's going to go away. I think that roadblock's going to stay in position. Hopefully we don't see any cars approach the pad. I would say if there were cars approaching the pad right now, we would probably call it and come back later. But we don't want to sit here for 4 hours if there's no indication that there's going to be something to see.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, really quickly, VDM had a really generous super chat I haven't gotten to yet, 50 euros. Just wanted to address that.
Oh, nice.
I
Thank
think
you.
it was a super sticker, actually, so no message.
Wow.
We really appreciate it, VDM.
Yeah, 50 euros is a huge amount of money. I mean,
Yeah.
we want to. I mean, I can't express like words. I wish I could take my words, mold them into a physical thing, throw them at my screen, and they would shoot through my screen and out your screen into your face and just be like, "Thank you." I don't know. I wish there was a way. I guess that's what I'm doing right now with technology. It's just not a physical, like, actual holdable thing. I don't know what I'm saying, but thank you for the 50 euros because that is an insane amount of money. I need to breathe into a paper bag or something for a second.
Jack, I think I speak for a lot of people at NSF at our community when I say we love you. Like, please always continue to be you.
Stop or I'll leave. I refuse to take compliments.
Nice. Yeah.
Justin and Tony also sent us $20. No message, but we really appreciate that as well.
Let's speed run. So I put some stuff into comms chat there if we want to make a call on that. I'll speed run some super chats and stuff while we're here. Reasons why, thank you so much. Jeremy Warren, blue pop-up tent, prove it can fly. Nice. Camel actually joined as a membership. Thank you, Camel. We got Keith Smith in there. You want a super discombobulator. Thanks for all you do. Let's light this candle. We're going to keep on watching Keith Smith. Thank you so much. Doris Diesel was a membership. Debash Mode was a membership. We've got Sheth in here, and it says, let's see. Oh, some questions. Yeah, just Mary still lives there. She still does have her house there, so she has not opted to move out of Boca Chica. She's still there. Ed Duncan, try not to scream because I'm at the dentist. Nice, Ed. Ours was in there as well. Smash that like button. Helps them get more views. Amazing job, all. It's rare to find people who truly love what they do. That's ours, Theo.
Wait, the person that said earlier that they had a dentist appointment actually took their phone to the dentist and is playing it out loud at the dentist.
I would.
I think that's the same person. That's hilarious if so. And also, hello, that person's dentist. Poke their gums with the stick thing.
What?
Like, just poke them real hard.
Dude, that's rude. They do a super chat and you want the dentist to stab their gums? I'm turning off your mic. You're off the stream. Jack is in timeout for 5 minutes because that's just rude. I kid. We'll consider that a warning, Jack. Be nice to the viewers. Tanushi, Ad Astra, Gloria Interim Sanctum, Av Imperator. Thank you, Tanushi. We've got Jim Denton in there again. Thank you so much, Jim. There's another one from Tanushi. At this rate, SN5 will be a monument. Nice. Oh, geez. You think the abort could have been a wet dress rehearsal? Probably not. I think they were probably going for it. Rich, how long does the membership cost? How long does it cost? There's a couple different levels of membership. I think the lowest one is like $1.99 a month or something. But every now and then we do have to stop the spamming by going to members only mode. We'll speed run these. Joe Rader, thank you. Ivan, thank you. Christian, thank you. Scott, thank you. Emily, thank you. Bill Rowan, Joey Schwartz, Chris Tipton, Arthur Fredis, Astix. Thank you all almost so much for the memberships. Pauline, what's up, Pauline? Actually, we got a membership from Pauline Eckel in there. Thank you.
Pauline Eckelin?
Yeah, beautiful, bright and smiling face in our chat. Look at that, y'all. Oh.
That just brightens my day right there. I freaking love Pauline. Anytime I get to shoot a rocket launch alongside Pauline, it's an absolute pleasure. I absolutely love shooting alongside her. She's a team player. I've stood on the roof of her car. She's used my batteries. We're all a team here. We're all friends.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you so much for the support, Pauline. You are freaking awesome.
And you know, the first time I met Pauline was at the first Falcon Heavy flight.
Nice.
And I remember I remember she was asking so being nervous that she was going to cry or that she was going to express an emotion when it launched. And I remember telling her, "Oh, Pauline, all you need to do is stick close to me. I'll be in tears, blubbering and screaming and yelling and swearing because I'm so happy." And when it launched and after the boosters landed, we locked eyes and she was in tears.
Yeah.
And so happy. Like it was just yes, there are those friends that you make instantly, and
Yep.
in this community, and Pauline is 100% one of those people.
Yeah, so
Yeah, if you're not following Pauline Ackland, go follow her on Twitter.
she actually,
and all the places.
gave me permission to use some photos she took on one of our astronaut live streams with the Intrepid Museum. So right there on the stream, we were chatting about space imagery, and she let us use some of her images. So she's definitely a big member of the community, capturing and sharing stuff over here. Thank you so much, Pauline, for stopping by and saying hi.
Yeah, and she's an OG fleet chaser too, like just like
yeah.
Julia. That's like, you know, claim to fame right there. Anyways.
I'm going to close out these, just speed run the rest of these. Zachary, we appreciate you there, talking about the bullnose vent. Somebody named Texas Tank Watcher. No annoying hop to ruin our tank watching. We don't want you to reconfigure our tank farm. It needs to stay right how it is. No annoying hop. We appreciate you, Texas Tank Watcher. Don.
Wasn't there a parody account already made of this DOS or something like that? Did I see that right earlier today, or am I misremembering that?
What would you say? Sorry.
Oh
yeah.
Sorry, I just isn't there already like a Twitter parody account?
Oh yeah, parody account.
Something like that.
Like one of our chapters live from what was it, Tasmania? Somebody started a Twitter account that was the Tasmanian Tank Watchers, the Tassie Tank Watchers. So
yes, that.
Right. Okay, we've also got Danielle over here saying lunchtime. Juster and Boca Chica weather feels like 98. We appreciate you, Juster, and for the support there. Mr. Muskrat, thank you very much for the support. And then last but not least, Nicholas, a new membership there. Thank you, Nicholas, for joining the NASA spaceflight team. But I believe, as I was sort of stalling by running super chats there, our back channel decision is that given what we're observing on the tank farm right now, we are going to make the decision to shut down the live stream. So we don't get any official word from SpaceX on how long it's going to take, but everything has calmed down. No tank farm activity. Even the grass farm vent isn't really doing a lot right now, maybe just a little bit. We think we saw that bull vent, which is an indication of maybe a longer recycle or longer abort. And so we are going to make the decision here to shut down the live stream. Mary going to charge some batteries, get some lunch, get cooled down. Again, it is hot over there on the roof in South Texas at Boca Chica. And we will plan on NASA spaceflight being back once we observe more activity at Boca Chica. We get some venting starting up. We see the grass start to go. We see SpaceXers come out there, start watching the tank farms, trying to vie for their junior tank watching memberships. We will bring the stream back online here. Again, 12 hours left in the warning window before the end of the day here. It goes all the way until midnight. TFR a little bit less than that, but SpaceX still has plenty of time to get this done. This is where we would return you to your normal programming, and it would be like the soap operas or something on in the background that we busted into for this special event live from Boca Chica, right? But did I miss anything else there, y'all? That seems like a good plan for now, so we can wrap it up and get Mary in the air conditioning.
Sounds good to me.
100%.
Yeah, all right. So we'll go around Yep, go ahead.
We will be back. We will be back as soon as we see anything going on. We have all the pieces in place. We're just going, like we were talking about earlier, we're just going to play our cards conservatively, like you said, because of the heat. So we will be back. Do not worry. As soon as we see any kind of activity, we'll be back.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, thank you everybody for joining us here today. All the super chats, all the people liking the videos, people that are over on Twitch, appreciate y'all as well. Wherever you're hanging out with, we're glad we were able to share this with you. Look for us here later. We don't have an exact time. What you need to do, like and subscribe, ring the bell, whatever the kids are TikToking about these days. Go in there and set the notifications to all notifications. And if we go live, you should get a notification on your phone. Also, if you're a member and you're in the Discord, we're working on being able to post over in Discord automatically. And last but not least, follow NASA Spaceflight on Twitter at NASA Spaceflight. I'll put the link in chat. If you follow NASA Spaceflight, you will definitely see some tweets come through whenever we have a live stream go up. I know nobody wants to miss it whenever we go live, and those are some different ways that you can make sure that you don't miss it. That's NASA Spaceflight right there. Click that link, click follow. Well, everybody who joined us here. Let's do the little bit of outro here and just introduce ourselves one last time before we say goodbye. Jack, thank you so much for the commentary here, watching the Texas tanks.
Yep, you know me. I'm Jack. Just hanging out, watching some tanks, getting hyped up, saying goofy stuff. I just threw a link to my Instagram in chat if you feel like following me on Instagram. I am also the Jack Buyer on Twitter. You see it there on the screen.
Yep,
Thanks
got
everybody
the
for
link
watching.
there as well.
Be excellent to each other.
Yeah. All right, Chris G, thank you so much as well for joining us. You still here?
I am indeed, yes. Yep, and we'll be back to cover more of this awesome stuff at Boca.
All right, Chris G there is assistant managing editor for NASA's spaceflight. Sort of keeps us all in line. Also, thanks to Michael behind the scenes there, Next Spaceflight on Twitter. Michael, thank you so much for hanging out and keeping the bug in our ears so we know what's going on.
No problem.
And of course, we have the live feed courtesy of Boca Chica Gal on Twitter. Boca Chica Gal, that is Mary. That is who I need to talk less so we can get her into the air conditioning here. But absolutely, positively, always thanks to Mary for making these live streams happen. She is operating the video feed. And then lastly, I'm John Galloway with NASA's Spaceflight. You can find me over on Twitter at Space Academy. If you're over on Twitch, you may know me as DOS because I run the Kerbal Space Academy. At some point, we're going to have to get back to playing some more Kerbal over there. But for now, I appreciate y'all joining us and sharing the SpaceX test event live from Boca Chica, Texas. We'll be shutting it down. Like I said, follow the channel, turn on the notifications so you don't miss when we go live later today as SpaceX tries a second, third, however many attempt for SN5 Starship prototype to take flight for the first time. We'll see y'all later. Thanks a lot, nerds.
Chamber pressure looks good. Following up. Roger, roll, Atlantic. Water towers fly! By the downside, FD off.
Yikes. You bet. Concur. We don't need any more of these.